Greetings to all. Greetings to all, and to all a good night. Yo, what's up, my business? How we do, my biz. You know how we do. You know how we do, how we do, how we what? You know how we do, North Korea. You know how we do. Yeah, I just got on. You never know, we never know. When is she gonna come on today? I'm gonna just change this back. Change that hi-hat. The hi-hat's a little bit over here. Thank you so much, my biz. Logan Smith is here. Guys, the reason I took so long to go live today, it's a true story. I've been playing a lot of chess on my phone. I'm a little bit hooked. I got a little bit of a problem. It's shook me up, and it's pretty bad. I miss you as well, Logan Smith. You're the man. You guys are all the man and the women. Chess addiction we need to talk about? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so I don't know if any of you guys, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I think you were late, my business, which I'm always late. I mean, what is late anyway? Everything happens on time. They have programs for that? Okay. Yo, Bert, what's up? Yo, thank you, Bert, so much. OMG, what is that? It's the manifesting orb. That's what I'm talking about. I like the manifesting form. Let's all manifest the things that we want, cause it's the best. Yo, Stacy, how you doing? Knights of the Bros, aka Knights of the Garden Hose. I'm afraid to say garden hose without the garden part in front, cause you know how they like to do to me, and they like to mess up my stream. Stacy Van Loosen, how you doing? What's up? How the F are you? Hope that you are doing well and feeling well, as we always say. Thanks for coming today. Stacy got the number 3. Gift your badge on the team tonight. Yo, with the heartbeat. Hey, that's really nice. Yes, it is. But my biz is the number 1. So these shirts. No, these shirts are not, but stay tuned for the actual shirts. We're gonna have some super. Actually, KG got me these two of these Steed shirts that happen to be on Amazon. How weird is that? This just happened to be on Amazon. This just existed. It's a Steed thing. You wouldn't understand? I'm pretty sure that's. No excuses by AIC. Oh, at first I was gonna say. I assume you're talking about me because I always give excuses. Oh, guys, I'm sorry I didn't do this or that. But my excuse is always I suck. My excuse is never, oh, I blame it on something else. I totally blame all that stuff on me. But now I realize you were requesting a song. Yo, Robert, thank you for the follow. Let me give you a follow back. Thanks for giving me a follow. I gave you a follow back. Thank you so much. My business bro, she did like 800 puzzles last night. Oh shit, did I actually? But you have to remember though, because I realized I did turn on an app limit. We got 222 viewers in here. OMG, spread the cheer. Feet. I do have feet. I got 2 of them actually. Feet with 3 E's. Oh wait, hold on. Okay. Thank you, Stacy, and thank you, Ultiminimum Klondike for the follow. Let me get you one back. I got you one back. Henry, thank you also. Let me give you a follow. Let's do a different one. Hold on. I had a really good numbers kit. This will work. Time for an intervention. I don't disagree with your statement. Yeah, we might need an intervention. Shane asked about Banana. Where's Banana? Hey, Banana. Banana, come here. Oh, wait, there's Nanner. Banana phone. This is Banana. Banana is a regular character on the show. Guys, let me talk about Banana for a minute. Banana actually started on the show as a fake microphone. I'd be like, hey, I'd be doing this, and I would be doing what? Rapping the comments. Ring, ring, ring-a-ding-a-ding, banana phone. Hello, I'm sorry, I'm not home. Wait, but Chris, can you answer the phone? Oh, wait, yeah, you're right, because I can do that. Alex Dingus, thanks for the follow. Let me get you a follow back. I'm going to get them follow backs, mother effers. Oh, I like the live. That's not what I meant to do. Well, I mean, hey, why not? Anthony, thank you so much for saying LMAO. Side piece, banana. Side. This is a banana phone. Guys, you know what's so crazy? Some of you already heard this. I can't hear you. I have a banana in my ear. That's a really good one. SD Benson, you're skilled in the art of wanting attention. Oh, well, I don't think I'm very skilled even in that. I think I have very limited skills, even in something so pathetic like that. That's actually a good idea for a video. Banana Steve Base saying how her chest affects. Wait, let me scroll back to see it again. OMG. Anthony Jude said, ha 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 ha. It's part of her gig. Yes. Can you dig? Hello, why Banana? Banana is a character on the show. Actually, Banana does have a whole personality. Singing into a banana is wild. Okay, so we have some new people. So to the new people, let me tell you what's going on with this guy right here. Okay, so when I first started streaming, I started like rapping comments or something. I really felt like I needed a microphone, but I didn't have one. So I just grabbed the closest thing in my vicinity, and it happened to be this banana phone. It's been sitting on a shelf for quite some time. I used it for a few times for actual phone calls because it does function as a phone. You just connect it to your regular phone, and you can have chats. I hate phone calls. That's why I got that. This is why I got this. It's not an iPhone, so I can't play chess on this banana like I can with my iPhone. It's not got all the fancy apps and everything. It's like an old-fashioned, hey, how you doing? Fine, how are you? Great. You want to go out? Is Dave & Buster's open? No, but we can go to Chili's. I don't want to go to Chili's again. Kristen, we've been there like 10 nights in the past 2 days. Wait, that doesn't even make sense. I know, right? That's why I'm saying it's like such a problem. You're obsessed with chess. We have a weakness for Chili's. Okay, well, why don't we go play chess at Chili's? But then we would just be supporting each other's weaknesses and our vices. You know what, friend? You only live once. Why don't we go have a good time? That sounds great. Goodbye. Bye. Yo, KG, thank you. Sean, thank you. Thank you. Looking forward. Looking forward 360. What are you looking? Everybody in the chat, tell me something. Let's get to know each other a little bit. Everybody in the chat, tell me something that you're looking forward to. Dave & Buster's Chili sounds like Michigan in the winter. Empowered gaming computers. Guy, is it Dosey or Dossie? or doozy. Mr. Guy, friend made like. Those are good answers. Subs bro, through a 7, thank you. Going to sleep, amen to that. I actually did like sleep just a tiny bit before. Well, I wasn't really all the way asleep, but I was pretty dang close. I thought about doing some covers tonight, you guys. Let me just warm up with my originals real quick. Go away, bed bugs. I don't want to get in bed with you tonight. Go away, bed bugs. You give me such a fright. Go away, bed bugs. Hold on, Kyle. Just a minute. What was the question again? What are you looking forward to? Kyle, I don't have a double bass pedal, but I can do this. It's not very good. Wow, thank you, Kyle. I have a brother named Kyle, by the way, so that's pretty cool. Oh. I still think I need to do something with I think I maybe need to have you guys more like straight ahead instead of at an angle. Yo, Sambo.bro, thanks for the follow. Dude, I love Rage Against the Machine was like one of my favorite bands. Yeah, Seth, we had 222 earlier, but they're gone now. Because they told me that they had to leave. But they're gonna come back. All those people that left, they're gonna come back. Hey, where's my people on YouTube and Twitch? Don't be afraid to comment, you guys. It's not like school where you raise your hand and you go, oh gosh, what if I get the question wrong? There's no questions here. You're not gonna get any pop quizzes, so don't be shy. And no one can see your face either. So what's with the Halo? Dude, yeah, Tom Morello rocks. I love Tom Morello. Peacock Boulevard, you were brave enough to say that you're too scared to say anything, and that shows a lot of vulnerability, and I do round of applause for Peacock. Sorry, Peacock, I don't want to put too much attention on you, but it is a very loving gang here that we have. So that's enough of that. It's something like that, Wipeout. I don't know. I'm not gonna play the whole song. Anytime someone requests Wipeout, I assume they just really want to see if I can play the intro, which I cannot do it well, but I can fake it till I make it. One of my viewers actually taught me that. They said it's paradiddles and then a paradiddle diddle. Something like that. Yeah, I actually am missing a pair of sticks. I'm missing my favorite pair. I think I lost them on the trip, which is funny because I didn't use them. Yo, John, thanks for the follow. Let me get you a follow back. Fake it then. Amen to that. Well, for me to do a cover, I do have to get up for a second. Wait, I can. Steve! I'm so sorry, Steve. By the way, this is my romantic partner forever, and to the end of time. Steed. Not Steve with the B, but Steed. As you can see here, it's a Steed thing. Actually, this is good because now people can see that I'm not saying Steve, but I am saying Steve. Yeah, Rage is cool. I'll probably play some Rage in a second. No, not Steed. Yes, yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. Steed and I have a history of that. Ooh, I just realized. Daniel, thank you for the follow. I just realized. And green gears. Keep them gears green. Keep them gears. Wait, are your parents first cousins? I only have one parent. And no. So that's our automatic no. His parents is singular. Now, were my birth parents first cousins? I have no fucking idea, but I doubt it. just based off of the information that I do know. I was adopted from Russia, by the way. Wait, someone said 5A. Nobody, are you referring to sticks? What's with the halo? Yeah. Oh, did you already ask that earlier? What's with the halo? So this is a circle above my head. And I was messing around with some of the effects one day that TikTok has to offer. And I said, I was just trying them out. And I tried this one out. I said, this is fun. So it stays. You know, it's funny though. Oh, hey, thank you, L. Smith. Oh, I appreciate that. Yo, shout out to L. Smith on YouTube. Thank you so much. That is very, very kind. He just told me that he has followed me on all formats. That is awesome. Thank you. YouTube has a better view. Oh, you think so? Then TikTok? TikTok, I get to be a little closer, but I think TikTok gets better audio, but you guys maybe get a better view. So if anybody does want to check me out on YouTube instead, let's see. Jack is self-projecting. I don't know why I read that as, well, I didn't actually read it like this, but in my head I thought self-ejecting, like that kind of ejection. By the way, guys, to the new people, I haven't done any Steed plays lately. So I'm sorry about that, but I think we can do another one. Are you on medication? I'm on the medication of love and life. And music. Got prescription for the music. It flows through my blood. Ooh. I get asked sometimes about that, or no, sometimes I get told I need to be on medication, and sometimes I get asked if I'm on the spectrum. And I say, thank you. I do take it as a compliment. Single and ready to mingle. Well, now I know, wait, I said that, but I don't mean that. I'm sorry, Steve, that was a joke. That was a joke. No, I don't care. I want you to see other people. Well, yeah. Well, we have like a little experimental kind of, we have it's not orthodox kind of relationship where we are together, but we do, you know, I mean, I always tell Steve, like, hey, you can go see other people, and Steve is like, no, Kristen, you're my love, you're the one and only that I want. And I say, that's a good Steve. No, you're lying, Kristen, because I told you that I wanted to meet with someone else, and you got all mad and said, no. What? No, that is not. No, I told you I'm not jealous. I'm not like that. Why don't you just tell the truth for once in your life, Steve? Why don't you tell the truth, please? No, guys, she's got problems. Do you? Okay, so I used to be able to tell Steve here, who we love each other. We really do. You know, like, okay, if you're gonna be such a sass mouth, why don't you sleep in the floor or on the iguana bed, or sleep on the couch? And I thought that was a good way to, you know, like, you're in the doghouse. But it turns out he doesn't actually like to lie in bed with me. He actually does prefer the iguana bed and the couch. So if you know, if we have a little argument, I say, you're sleeping with me tonight, mister. And we're gonna cuddle all night so hard. And that's your punishment. That's punishment for him. And it's not because he doesn't love me. You might be thinking, well, wow, if he doesn't want to go to sleep with you, he must not love you. And that is just that could not be further from the truth. I do respect Steve's need for a little space at night. I get that. You know, I don't necessarily need to be up close and personal when I'm trying to catch some Z's, you know. So but now the only interesting thing is that Steed here does have a tendency to release goo, as I call it on here. in very inconvenient places. It's I think it's a medical thing. No, it's not. Yeah, I think it's a medical thing that you can't control. And so I've learned to accept that. I've learned to accept that, you can't help that you eject goo or multiple times a day in various places that aren't always like I'm not always the happiest to find goo in my cereal bowl, you know what I mean? I'm not always really happy about that. I'm not always happy when I put my shoe on and I feel something on my heel. I feel a little moisture. I don't always like that. And I don't always like when it's gotten on a bowl and I have to really I gotta get that water hot because it's crusted up and it's dry. I don't always like to do that. And for a while I was really hurt because when it was time for us to have our close moments, our private, personal, intimate moments, I would not, it would just nothing. There's just nothing comes out. And for a while that really hurt me because I was like, well, how come you do everywhere else, but you don't do when it's actually like time where I'm like, yo, I want to see that goo. Well, where is it? But I've learned to, and we went to therapy for it and everything. But now I realize, stop moving. Now I realize what was actually going on is it's a medical condition that you have. It hasn't been diagnosed by like a doctor hasn't told them that yet, but I'm pretty sure like it's pretty 100% true. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. So anyway, sorry. Can you like not interrupt me, please? Because it's easy for me to lose my train of thought and get distracted, especially when we got lots of people watching. Because I want to put on a good show, and you interrupting me kind of makes it a little bit tricky for me. Do you want to say sorry? Okay, good boy. Anyway, so I realized it's not because he doesn't love me. It's like you just can't help it. If you are releasing that much goo throughout the day, it's like of course you're not gonna have any. By the end of the day, maybe we should try to experiment in the morning, babe. Which we do like a lot. It's just, I accept. I'm not mad about that anymore. Not that I was mad about it, but I was a little bit like, am I not good enough for you? Like, what are you looking for that I'm not giving you? That you can do. He sleeps in the couch. He sleeps in the iguana bed, covered in goo by the time the morning comes around. And I'm like, wow, you must be having some good dreams. But then when we sleep together, I have nothing. It's totally dry. And I'm like, I don't take it personally anymore, which before it kind of put a strain on our relationship just a little bit. Is this about the steed again? The steed. You're right to call it the steed because it's the steed. Is he into iguanas? I think he's into a lot of. You like iguanas like that? No, that's not our pet. Okay, well, like other iguanas. Like, let's say we see a random attractive iguana on the street. You're gonna do? Yeah. Okay, so Steve doesn't feel that way for our iguana pet because it's like our child, our iguana. But as an iguana on the street, well, hey, maybe we'll go out for a night in the town, bud, and try to find some iguanas for you, or whatever other creatures you're interested in besides humans. But there has to be consent. Anyway, after the play, let's get the. Oh, you like the bass? I like jamming on the bass too. Logically understand. Let's hear some Green Day. I think the only logical thing to do right now is to play Green Day. Quick shout outs. Burnt. Round of applause for Burnt. Now, Burnt, you are a subscriber, and you are also the #1 gifter at the moment. So, round of applause. Hey, shit, my cursor is covering the name. Myers. Is it Alex? Alex Myers. Hello, I'm doing well. How are you? I used to do Breakfast Club skits. I will do some music. quick question to my biz, because my biz, you are the #1 gifter. If I do a cover, do you have a song in mind, or can I pick a song? I'm so classy. I try, I don't try. It's natural. Yo, Luna Ray. Rage. Okay, cool. I got you. Now the only thing. Ooh. You know what I could. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm doing a cover for my biz, because my biz is #1. Okay, I just gotta get this set up a little bit. I have the thing plugged into my computer, but my laptop would be better. Not that it matters. Rage in a cage. Despite all the rage, I'm still just a ratting cat. I'm still just a steed in a bed, bed. Despite all my view, I'm still just a steed in a bed. Hey, I need a. The chest is just flex on us, girl. Okay. That's a little preview. Now, you can see more. It's gonna cost you. Mama gotta work here, as I say now. It's one of my catchphrases when people make requests. Mama do gotta work. Mama likes to do random improv. I do also want to let the people watching that I do love you. I respect you. Jack is cutting. You're a no nonsense kind of guy. I like that. These miniguns go pew pew. I'm afraid to even say that word. That's why last night when I was at the gas station, I said someone got pew pew. Someone got pew pewed at the gas station last night. It's so weird too, because I got there. I read the article. I was there like 10 minutes after that shit happened. Like 15. So wild. We're paying you this the whole show. Wait, hold on. Who's this we're paying? Who's we? I'm just kidding. No, I don't ever expect it. I do not ever ask for it. Thank you. I just saw you respect the hustle. Yeah, I'm just having a good time. And to my subs, I did respond to subs. I did try to reach out to all my subs. Unless to a message that I sent, and it's been like a really long time, because I know there's a few of you who aren't big messengers on TikTok. Yes, I don't expect it, but for requests and stuff, I catch myself paying pew on Instagram. It's nice. Do you ever get the feeling you've been? No, I don't, Scooby. I really don't. I feel like you guys are getting robbed by me sometimes to my subs. I don't always feel like I deliver. But guess what? Today I actually did. I know I always say this. Oh, I changed. Oh, I'm doing this better now. Blah, blah, blah. All that jazz. You never asked me about subs. I guess I never taught. Okay, so that's one thing I do need to get better about that. Talk about, oh, like, hey, subscribe. I mean, it's not a lot of money. It's like $269 a month, but it's actually $290 a month. It's $269 because why? KG, everybody loves $269. $269 a month. You do get exclusive content. I need to do some more of that, but I'm coming back, you guys. I'm coming back with the big takeover. I'm ready to do this thing. I'm ready to. I get so overwhelmed sometimes with all this stuff that I want to do, and then I start playing chess or some dumb shit, and I'm just like, well, if I'm not working or dealing with like family shit, I'm just like chess. It used to be poker, but now it's chess. Um, wow, Natasha really wants to see my guns. Time for an increase to 333. Oh shit, Bluesman 333. Yes, Logan Smith, thank you. Yes, I am not a mother, but I feel semi. People ask me if I'm gonna have kids. I really will. Got my two brothers, my kids right there. OCD. I don't know if that is OCD. I used to wonder a little bit if I have OCD. I don't know if I do. If I'm just. I don't know. We all like stimulation, but the chest is like oh, good for your brain.
For years and kept getting led astray.
Jesus Christ. That was scary. Guys, I watched Borat recently. One cool day. Nice. Um, no, okay, Natasha. I mean, poker chess, but oh, I forgot this part. To do the raps over this track. Let me scroll down a little bit. Take it easy. Go F your kidding. I forgot this is weird. What up, Martin? Yes, Natasha. Thank you so much. What's up, Martin? me feel a little bit exposed, a little bit vulnerable. So, but I will do it just because it's a quick little thing. I shouldn't build so much. Now, do you have to see from this angle? Okay, there's my flex right there. It's all the ladies watching. If you want to get, if you're looking at that and you're like, you know. Anyway, Uncle Little, yo, thank you for the follow. I followed you back. Yes, I did. And by the way, Bruce McDickles, I would like to just say again, yo, Bruce McDickles, thank you for your cool name. Mr. Universe Post. Flex on YouTube is pretty impressive. Wait, is the camera even on? Is it working on YouTube? Is it working now? Because the little thing that said it's nice, Logan. Played this when I was in court. Yeah, nice. I used to play that album while I played on Xbox. And I just put this at the CD and I downloaded it onto the system. I might put an original on and do some little raps and whatnot. If you come on, you Twitch, why don't you behave yourself right now? You're not too far. I'm surprised that TikTok is. How's the TikTok live? Quick shout outs. KGB313 is the number 1 Badger on the team. Thank you so much, KGB31. So like, I could. This is since it's a ski thing, you wouldn't understand. Anybody here watching right now who has watched before, you'll understand. And soon enough, more and more people will understand. You'll be seeing new shirts everywhere, ski shirts. Oh. Do you want to work YouTube? Do you want to restream? It's not YouTube's fault. Restream. Do you want to behave yourself over there because you're really people come to see the show. They don't come to see technical difficulties. I might as well just title TikTok. I don't have to do that. Twitch and YouTube on Restream. I do title my stream. Today was Wallawooly Wednesday or something. But I really should have named it just technical difficulties. The daily technical difficulty show, which turns it's kind of our couples therapist did motions and how to, like, I used to be angry at Steve for viewing everywhere. I'm not really angry anymore. I understand technology. You have and but I do feel like I have a connection with that guy who got QQ'd. So hopefully he's okay. I don't know him. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like anybody getting shot. Hopefully TikTok, don't worry, it's all fake. It's a fake story. I did read the article about it today. It was kind of interesting. But the timing is so weird because had I been there 10 minutes earlier, which I'm glad I wasn't. I was like oddly like not affected by the situation at all. Which is weird. I have like I have bad dreams. I hate, you know, violence. I don't like that. I don't like people bringing shit. So, and not, I'm like, me next, please. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just jokes. But there was also a tiny part of me that's like, stuff like that goes on a lot. So like, oh, I'm so sheltered, I don't see it a lot. Although there was that incident at that school. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about this, so I'm not gonna really do it here. Yeah, I fear bugs more than I fear QQs, apparently. Although if it was like a KNIFE and it was a STAB going on, I would probably freak out by that, oddly enough. It freaks me out. I would rather get QQ than jabbed. Happens all the time here, yeah. It's more like non. You got pew pew in the butt and got someone. I'm in Tennessee. But I felt comfortable when there was going on at a school that was like a mile I worked at. I felt more weird that day, but I think that was just depressing because like someone just gone up and pew pewing random children. And I'm like, man, this is not what I signed up for. Because we had to do a 4-hour training on school pew pew in situations. And we learned to use tourniquets and how to, when you need to fight and when you need to, sometimes you gotta go after them. You gotta fight to survive. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for like doing lesson plans in school and I'm dealing with children and helping them, learn, not helping them survive. We're on a plane, guys. Wait, what is? Sure. Wait. Who's we? Are you talking about you guys put me on a plane? I'm down with a plane ride. What's up? Hey, Josie, thank you for the tiny Donny. Tiny D, you are the #1 gifter at the moment, but unfortunately, I think, well, not unfortunately, but I think Blue Smile is gonna come in with that 222 111 222 333 229. Wow, what's up with that? Okay. I'm just dancing, okay? I'm just doing that. Thank you, Tough Yawn. Yawn, are you gonna be Tough Yawn for? I'm just gonna call you Tough Yawn for the rest of my life, guys. Yawn is he's an OG. Yawn was here in the early days. Yawn, I have a serious question. What do you think of the stream? If you think of my early days, like back in November, December, obviously the wig, I don't have the wig anymore. Does it feel different? Or does it feel like it's the same minus is Yawn always tired? Yawn is always tough. I'm always tired though. Although occasionally like I am right now. In a good mood. But I also did lie down and like I almost fell asleep. I wanted to rest a little bit. I was like meditating. I was trying to recharge my batteries because I am really tired and I just played chess for a long time. I get kind of dumb, like hijacking my dopamine system. You always have a new and different vibe. Oh, cool. You're always new, but you're good. Nice. Thank you, Jan. That's very sweet. TSA won't know what to do with you. Like they won't know what they're gonna say. She's a Russian. Guys, how many times 5? It's a yawn tire joke. Yes, what do you think about the pink rip? Rest in peace to the pink wig indeed, but it might show up one night. We don't know. We don't know. Kelly Benson, David. Wait, you said probably. Do you want to come back when she actually does marry you? And then we don't have to, because I was gonna say, oh yay, Kelly Benson is probably gonna marry you, because that's gonna be even more disappointing if it doesn't happen. Nico, quadruple 8. Do you have a wait? Do you have did you ask if let me see, do you have a passport or what? I used to have a passport because I was born in Russia. I was born in Russia and I was adopted from Russian passport when I was young. To come to the States. get me a game. Wait, can you give me a game on Steam? Bumper could you get for Steam if you want a game. I'm not. If you're asking like, will I buy it for you? Probably. Well, no. It depends what it is though. Is there a game that you have in mind, or do you want to hear a game that I suggest? Because I would suggest a game called Mr. President, and you act as a bodyguard of the president, and you have to time. You jump out in front of him. He's like in this doing a event on stage, and so here's what the game goes. So it starts, and you do like 5 seconds, and then the president's gonna get. So you have to time it, and then you have to jump like that, and it's so bad. It's like it's so stupid, but it's really really funny. And I discovered it from a Voice Critical, because he has a gameplay version or a video where he plays that game, and it's really fun. Or the Home Alone game, but that's probably those. I don't know. That one's probably more expensive. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, not chess. You don't need to get chess on Steam though. You can get Steamy with chess on just as an app phone app. Yo, Josie, thank you so much. Yeah, Charlie, I found it from Charlie. Or play the Pepsi Man game. Pepsi Man is also pretty good. Why don't understand becoming Instagram model? Oh wait, never mind. It's pretty obvious. Wow, you have really good insight then. I don't know why. I'm really not a fan of Instagram. And I actually did neglect my Instagram. I used to try to post to YouTube, Twitch, not Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and then Instagram would post to Facebook automatically. But I kind of lost interest in Instagram. I don't really know why. Probably not wise, but it's not like it's a ton of work to post to all three. I really would like to find. I know they make some software like that where you can post to multiple platforms at once. I think I need to learn about that. Instead of trying to reach you. If you're trying to reach me on Instagram, even if you're trying to reach me on an app I use a lot, or at least more frequently. I know I'm not always the best, but I did take time today. I got my binder reorganized. I had a binder that I put together a while ago, and then I fucking lost it. How do you even lose something like that? So I got a new one. But I was sitting down today and I was catching up on messages and shit, but only on TikTok. Like I still have to do Facebook and Insta, which I just don't even open those. Because most of my following is on here, and I realized I was tutoring yesterday. We need Lady K app. Oh, nice. I was tutoring in the library yesterday, and during the tutoring, or I guess it was like we were pretty much done. Anytime I had a little free time, I was like working on shit that I've been needing to work on, and I realized like, okay, I'm pretty much useless at home, but if I'm in a library, I can get it done. No, I didn't get a new phone. I just wiped it off a little bit. I guess I have to do that more often. Did you ever get back to me on Messenger here? I can. I can do that. I did catch up on all my sub messages. That does take a little time. And I know you said earlier, oh, you never mentioned sub. I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, my subs do get priority message wise, but I'm refraining from saying every day if you message me, I'll respond, because I don't do that, but I think I can get a schedule going where I can at least stay on top of it a little bit more. So when I started getting lots of messages, I got kind of overwhelmed. But then every now and then I would open some from someone new, and they'd say like, oh wow, the stream inspired me to play music, or the stream made me feel better after a shitty day. And that shit is so cool. And I like got kind of mad at myself because I was like, you know, look at me. I'm like, oh man, it's so much, it's so much. But like people are saying some really fucking nice things. And certainly in the beginning, early on, I was on top of it. Almost probably every message I got, but I also had a pretty small following when I first started. But like I remember I was just like, wow, that is so fucking awesome. And I don't like to think that, oh, now it's just like it's a hassle. Because it's really not. And it's awesome because I like you guys and y'all are cool. But like even my friends here, I'm like, like they don't hear back from me a lot. And my brother Kevin always gives me shit for that. He's like, listen, what if there's an emergency and we need you? And I'm like, bro, if it's an emergency, I'll answer. Like, anyway. What you're doing right now. I need to, well, what I'm doing right now, yeah, I'm glad I'm streaming again. Because I think after I took the time off, there's part of me that's like, oh, I haven't done this in a while. But now that I'm doing it again, I'm like, fuck yeah. But I did have a lot of time off streaming back last month and this month and June. Because June, I made this whole big fuss about, oh, it's going to be the best month, June. It's going to change. And then I got banned at the beginning of, oh yeah, I said that at the end of August. Then I got banned the first week of June for a week. And then after that, I was like depressed or some shit and I didn't stream again. But I'm back. I'm here now. Oh, thanks, Scott. I like you guys too. Nice, David. Good job on the fun donuts. What kind? What kind of donuts are you eating over there? Only June, July, and August. Yeah. Freedom doesn't last. Yeah, it's kind of it's a lot. Like 'cause sometimes even like with text, not even just like TikTok messages, but like text messages. I think like the past couple of days I've gotten a little bit better about that. Like just answering when I get something instead of, oh, I start answering it and then I'm like, oh, someone needs me, or start thinking of something else and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do this. And then I think I answered a lot of times because I'll like start typing a message. Just fucking send it. What am I doing? Yeah, or I'm doing puzzles, and those are really addictive for me. I wish they would, if they give me harder puzzles, it would be a little bit different. But they give me so many of the same one, and I don't know if that's because they think I suck. But they give me so many of the same one, and I'm like, I get this already. I already know what to do. I just have to put my queen there. That's it. I'm like, give me the harder ones, because they do give me some that are like, ooh, I have to think a little bit. I like that. I like that one because I'm tired of the same old shit. Chess.com app. I actually did start looking at other apps for puzzles, and I tried one other one, and it was just like so less satisfying to interact with. It was a lot slower, and after you beat the level, I think that's part of why I like Chess.com app so much. It's so fast, and like the pieces move like so quickly. Whereas this other app that I tried, the pieces go like so slow. And then even after you beat the level, it's like it pauses for a minute and then does some like victory music. And I'm like, this shit is taking way too long. Fuck this. So I'll try a different app. But chess.com, you really need to think about why you have me. I'm progressing through all these levels and then I get one wrong. I don't know if it's because I get some of them wrong. Sometimes I'll be on a roll and then I'll do an easy shit. And I'm like, why? And then I'll miss a harder one. And then it's like, then they give me the easy one. I'm like, look how far I've come on this puzzle journey. No, give me something good. Give me something hard. Just because I struggle with this one. I obviously know this anyway. Okay, I'm going to shut up about that. I kind of wish they didn't invent texts. They're certainly convenient. I'm not a fan of phone calls, but I'm trying to get better about that too because I hate talking on the phone. Well, it's not that I hate talking. It depends. I don't like to call about stuff. Like I would so rather if I had to like call my pharmacy or doctor or whatever, I would love to or set up an appointment for something. Let me just do it online and get over it. Or just, because you get on hold, and then, I always feel like I'm going to forget something. Whereas if I'm writing, I can say what I want, and then I can be like, okay, yeah, all right, got all my information in one place. You got all the information in one place. No one has to write anything down. And then if they say something to me, and then I forget what it is the next day. So anyway, I wish that my doctor, I could do that with my psychiatrist. It would be so nice. Hit a riff. Why don't you go eat a stiff? Yo, Starford, what's up? What are your go-to pizza toppings? I am a big fan of veggie pizzas. I like black olives, tomatoes, green peppers, onions, all of that shit. Spinach, not broccoli though. Broccoli's weird on pizza. I like a classic veggie, especially them black olives and peppers. And I like the sauce a lot. Sauce is like one of my favorite parts of pizza. And I'm a thin crust gal. And no ranch for me. Fuck that. Are you in a band? I am a band. If you live in North Korea. Yes, my Venmo does work. It does indeed. Yes, Joel. Yes, and I will catch up on our messages as well. I'm very sorry about that. No ranch. Yeah, no, I'm not who wants ranch on pizza? Say I. Not I. Smoke on the water. Well, you guys are really just freaking awesome. Yes, play your guitar, Star Lord. Fuck yeah, that's what I like to hear. Go jam the frick out. That is what's up. Play it and play it hard. And the best way to test me. Yeah, I agree with KG on that one. You got to do a lot many cents. And then that will be determined. No, obviously we're just being goofy. What should I play? The cha-cha slide. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross. Crisscross. Let's go, Mort. Cha-cha now. Turn it up. Slide to the left. 2 jumps this time. 1 hump this time. Turn all around. Do the hokey pokey. Oh, that's what's up, Star Lord. We played some Rage on here. Did you see the Rage cover that we did earlier? I have to, I did migrate some of my equipment, so I don't have my bass set up as optimal. It's not sounding good right now, but that's because I had to move some wires around. Because I think one of these cables, if I switch them around, it'll sound good, but one of these cables, it's like it works with the drums, but then it's weird with the bass, or vice versa. I don't know. Alice in Chains, make me insane. What all do you play? I play a song called Bed Bugs in North Korea. I'm just kidding. Shit. I do play. So drums is my main instrument. And then I like to play the guitar and the keys. Keys will be my next main. At least for like making music. I don't really do keys on here a lot. I did in the early days. I've been listening to a lot of rap lately, actually, or a lot of hip hop. So there's a duo called Juggernauts. They have a really cool song that I like. And then, or they have a couple songs that I like. One of them is, I was actually thinking about playing some of them and I can rap along to them, but I'm like, does anyone want to see that? I did Slick Rick on here one time. Oh wait, and there's also, I discovered a new song recently by, it's like electronic stuff called the group, or I guess they're called the Two Swordsmen. They got a song called Kist, K-I-S-T. That shit was so funky and fresh and cool. It's like reminded me of my music, which was like weird because I don't ever hear stuff like that. Like it was kind of dark. Yeah, the only thing with rapping to the classics, I have to do the clean versions because, or I can just do it a cappella with like wall drums. What kind of music do you listen to? I like lots. I'm listening to mostly like hip hop right now, but I do like other kinds of stuff. Like, I hate to say electronic because I feel like people just think EDM kind of shit. I like weird stuff. I like stuff that's like kind of dissonant and funky. I like the funk. I like funky beats, and I like cool chords that are jazzy and sound fucked up. And then I also like Meshuggah because I got that. I like that genty metal tone on the guitar. So into Matey's music. Funkadelic. Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, Dirty Loops. Yeah, I forgot about them. I'm familiar with them. They're good. I can't remember. I think they had a song that I like. Dead Can Dance? No, I have not. What are they? I will listen to them. There's a band called Morphine that's pretty cool. And they're pretty chill. And then also Camp Low. Camp Low is another hip hop duo. Their music is so good. It's so like makes me feel it's like so cool and you know steedy. It's pretty steedy music. Oh, nice. Well, cool. I'll put that. I'll definitely check it out. Love and miss you too, Geronimo. For us, rock country rock. I said rock. Country rock and blues classics. Also, I used to play in a blues band. That was many moons ago. And in Nashville, we did all right. All right, I do have to go pop hot now. So I'm gonna take a little break. Oh hell yeah, Star Lord. I like the Middle Eastern sound, the harmonic minors and the Phrygian, and the all that kind of stuff. I love the Middle Eastern sound. It's fucking cool. I like it a lot. All right, 10, 9, 9. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. At least where I am, it's 12:34. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. My business, yo, the number one. My business. I hope that you did enjoy the Rage Against the Machine jam. That was actually really. I actually did have a good time doing that. I need to play some of these songs because sometimes I'm like so not. I'm not playing a lot lately, so I'm always like, God, it's gonna suck ass. That was actually really fun. That was I picked a good song, Jock Piston. Thank you. Good job. My business for requesting Rage because they're super cool. Josie is a number 2. Yo, thank you so much. KG Victor 13 is a number 3. That's where you should be. Don't forget about this. So KG did actually design another kind of shirt. I do need to figure. What I need to do. I'm just thinking out loud right now. Oh, I've heard of them, Joe. Star Lord, you have a great night too. I have a friend who likes them, and I listened to a little bit. It was cool. I need to get set on a logo because like my profile picture little logo right now I don't think I want to keep that. I don't want to keep that one. I want to come up with. I want to have a new one, and I think I know what an idea of what I want. I just have to get it there. I have to get it done. So yes, amen. So I need a logo like for me, and then steed shirts are different. We can make any kind of steed shirt, like that'd be cool. And I know the guy who can make that stuff. I gotta hit him up. Calling it a night. Well, I mean, I was gonna take a break, and I'll probably come back for and do a short one, but I don't know. It is. We'll see. If I get sucked into my chess puzzles, I'm not gonna even touch it. I'm not even gonna fucking play chess tonight, or at least not right now. On my break, I'm not gonna touch it on my break. I'm gonna actually. I feel kind of good. I feel like I can get organized and shit and do stuff. No chess until I'm done with all my tasks. Um. Oh well. Hey, thanks. That's what's up. Unity. 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 That would actually be pretty cute. Just say you're not coming back. Yeah, I'll just say I'm not coming back. Then it'll be a nice surprise. I don't know why I didn't do that. Just do that this whole time. Wait until the stream ends and only make chess moves in actual games. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I need to stop the puzzles. Fuck the puzzles. I mean, they're help. They actually are. I see that they are a little bit helpful, but the lessons, I need to do more of those. Even the lessons, I kind of rush through those. I was doing it earlier today, and I kind of took my time. That's my problem. Is like I want to get better, but I want to learn in such a passive way. So when I'm doing the lessons, he's like, "Oh, do this," and I'm just like expecting my brain to be able to find it right away. But I'm like, no, I gotta analyze. I gotta think about each piece on the board. Okay, Rolani, yo, thanks for the follow. I followed you back. User 244, thank you for liking the live. Liking the live. All right, bye guys. All 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
insurance provider can be the first one dancing over your fortune to fucking whip and name as you're going straight to Valhalla because they have denied your claims. It is the most unhinged business model that is trying to capitalize off your death and misery. You pay this company to do one thing, and this company's entire goal, its modus operandi, its modus operandi, is to find ways to wiggle out of doing the one thing you paid it for. That, and I just had to spit, it makes me so sick. That is the tug of war back and forth that you sign up with health insurance, and that's normal. You pay for something, and its goal is to find ways out of doing the coverage that you're paying for. And right now, the reason why I'm jacked about it again is because I just learned that Ben Askren, who has been fighting for his life for the better part of a month and some change, is now needing a double lung transplant, which is a very expensive procedure, and has been denied by his health insurance. So now his family has had to resort to crowdfunding to try and get the funds together to pay for this life-saving procedure that is medically necessary for him to continue living. It is storming so hard here, even the heavens are angered by health insurance. I don't know if you can hear all of the rain crashing against my window. It sounds like fucking hail, like gold balls hitting it, and then extreme thunder. But the point is, this is infuriating. What do you pay health insurance for if it won't try and cover you in a life-saving procedure? It is a scam. Its entire business model relies on finding ways of denying you coverage so they can save money on the bottom line while milking you dry your whole fucking life as you pay these premiums to them. It is fucking disgusting. I swear to God, people that pedal fit are more ethical and honest than health insurance companies. Like, there is nothing on this planet that is more scummy and shady than health insurance. I genuinely cannot believe this state has that. I'm going to briefly explain what's happened to Ben Askren that's led to needing this double lung transplant, at least briefly. As I understand it, he was hospitalized with pneumonia. He was in critical condition for a while, but started to make slight recovery. According to his family, he got some of his personality back. But in order to live, to survive, he is going to need the lung transplant. That is on the list of waiting there, but has been denied coverage for health insurance. And I saw a lot of people speculating that, well, here's another case of a celebrity superstar who's blowing all this money. That is not the case. His family has come out to debunk those rumors. It's not like he's going through all this money or anything. A lot of his money is tied up in investments and reinvesting into the sport, as well as it's just being extraordinarily expensive to just shoulder on your own, even with a ton of money in your back pocket. It's one of the most expensive surgeries there is, and luckily, health insurance has come in here and just went. So now there is no one to help except for the community. So I'm going to put a link to the fundraiser in the description of this video. It is unbelievable that that's what it comes to. In order to survive, you have to rely on the generosity of others instead of the company that you pay for the sole purpose of trying to help you survive in case of a situation like this arising. It is despicable that this is still happening and will continue happening for the foreseeable future. It's not like it looks like there could be any sweeping improvements done to health insurance anytime fucking soon. So his family has started a fundraiser to try and get donations so that way they can cover the medical expenses. I've seen quite a few fighters come forward saying that they're going to help cover it. Dana White posted on his story sharing the fundraiser, but I don't know if he himself personally is donating to it, which I found really odd because Dana White drops like a couple $100,000 to like YouTubers just to be nice to them. Yet I haven't heard about him himself donating for the Ben Askren life-saving surgery. Of course, he's not like required to or anything, but $200,000 to Dana White, that's like a night of gambling for him. Anyway, let's start blabbering about health insurance being a fucking scam, which it is. It is a scam. It is really sad. That's really about it. Yeah. right now. I love watching bad YouTuber apologies, and they're all horrible. I swear to God, the animatronics in Five Nights at Freddy's appear more emotional than the fucking YouTubers when they're apologizing. It is the goofiest shit in the world. But that has nothing on TikTok apologies. They're in a totally different dimension, a realm all their own. It's like everyone on TikTok has been trained by Tommy Wiseau when it comes to acting. Like it literally sounds and looks like NPCs in Skyrim communicating. Like there's a dude who got outed as like a child predator or something, and his apology, his response video was him reading off his note cards like he was in middle school class giving a presentation on like chemical bonds. He was sitting there, he's like, "Yes, I did this, but doesn't mean you can be mean to me. Whoops. Please stop being mean to me." Whoops. Like it's fucking crazy. So recently, about 5 or 6 months ago, a massive TikTok star named Sienna May was accused of sexually assaulting another TikTok star named Jack Wright. There were videos that came out that showed Sienna doing questionable things to Jack Wright's body while he was unconscious. And there's just a lot of evidence that led to these allegations against her. And recently, like 5 or 6 days ago, he made a video finally going over everything, and it's really sad. It is really just a very sad, awful situation. And I actually knew about this about 5 or 6 months ago because she released the worst apology video I think I've ever seen. And I don't say that lightly. I feel like I say that every time a new apology video comes out, somehow they just keep getting worse. And I don't think anything's going to be Sienna May's. She took it down today, unfortunately, so the only way I'm going to be able to show it to you is when we watch it on stream, twitch.tv/voicecritical, comes out by if you like things like a penis, put a link in the description. So I'm going to show you that and then go over it a bit further. So I do remember her because Mr. Beard made a video on her apology. We even watched the apology on stream. She's the one that did the interpretive dance. I'm young and did nothing wrong with the sexual assault allegation. I remember her now.
I decided to take a month off from social media and do the things that we tried my classes. There was also one of those difficult times in my life, but memories. But in struggle, I felt clarity within myself.
And then she hits a Gangnam Style here in a minute. Right away, I love how she says taking a month off social media was the hardest time in her life. What a privileged life to live where that's your biggest struggle. You can't go on TikTok for a month. Fuck. What a nightmare. You'll soon notice this isn't really an apology video. It's just like a ballet recital. She doesn't really say sorry for anything at all. And she makes herself the victim of the situation. Like, I had to take a whole month off social media. I just need to clear my head from all the negativity, which I didn't deserve.
And whether that's showing how dancing, showing competitive photos of myself, creating and inspiring. Now, more than ever, I feel proud of the person I am. Even if I don't inspire one person, I will have done what I'm personally driven to do.
Yeah, this is all very inspirational. It's motivating me to climb a mountain. But what does it have to do with anything at all? I mean, yeah, this is obviously very powerful. It's putting tears in my eyes without motivation. You know, it's just like a ballet in the description. So I'm going to show you that and then go over it a bit further. So I do remember her because Mr. Beard made a video on her apology. We even watched the apology on stream. She's the one that did the interpretive dance. I'm young and did nothing wrong with the sexual assault allegation. I remember her now.
I decided to take a month off from social media and do the things that we tried my classes. There was also one of those difficult times in my life, but memories. But in struggle, I felt clarity within myself.
And then she gets a Gangnam Style here in a minute. Right away, I love how she says taking a month off social media was the hardest time in her life. What a privileged life to live where that's your biggest struggle. You can't go on TikTok for a month. Fuck. What a nightmare. You'll soon notice this isn't really an apology video. It's just like a ballet recital. She doesn't really say sorry for anything at all. And she makes herself the victim of the situation. Like, I had to take a whole month off social media. I just needed to clear my head from all the negativity, which I didn't deserve.
And whether that's showing how dancing, showing competitive photos of myself, creating and inspiring. Now, more than ever, I feel proud of the person I am. Even if I can only inspire one person, I will have done what I'm personally driven to do.
Yeah, this is all very inspirational. It's motivating me to climb a mountain. But what does it have to do with anything at all? I mean, yeah, this is obviously very powerful. It's putting tears in my eyes with how motivational it is. But what does it have to do with anything? It doesn't address anything. It does nothing. This is like if the feds came up to me and were like, "Hey, Charlie, we caught you on camera burning down this Toys R Us. We know you're an arsonist. We have it right here. And my response is, I just love to create. I love to inspire and to show quantity of photos of myself. And if I can just inspire one person, then I'll have done what I set out on this earth to do. The Mickey Mouse Clubhouse things. It's like, oh God, guess we got the wrong guy. He's not guilty, he just dropped and laughed on us. I love how she shouts out her sponsors of the apology. Really appreciate Rachel. I just do think and thank you. Like, how can you not forgive her after this? I'm convinced she did nothing wrong. I was very inspired. Not a single apology here, making sure to let the sponsors know that she still appreciates them so they don't feel left out here. Overall, I mean, it doesn't get better than that. That is about as good as it gets, I'd say. The song she chose couldn't have been worse, I'd say. Like, the very end is, I did nothing wrong and I'm young. And she's accused of sexual assault. Like, this is probably not the song you want to use. Feels really off, given the circumstance for why she's doing this. Really a fucking weird choice. It almost feels like she's rubbing Jack's face in the whole situation. She makes herself the victim and then tries to spin this whole thing as a way of making herself like the hero of the story. Like, I had to take a whole bunch off social media, but now I'm back to inspire. Now, even beyond this horribly choreographed Broadway dance number, she released a series of videos saying the allegations were false and lies, just outright denying any of it ever happened, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. So the whole thing has been just a big gross mess. So yeah, I mainly just wanted to show you that apology because I think it's going to be a pretty tough one for someone to beat. This was very egotistical, and it wasn't an apology. I don't know why I keep calling it that. This was her, like, victim blaming and making the whole situation a way of trying to like become more popular from it almost. I don't know. It was just fucking stupid. And I just had to at least show you all this whole situation. And that's about it. So yeah, it just wouldn't feel right if 2023 didn't conclude with at least one more horrible YouTuber apology video. And luckily, Krampus did not let us down, delivering a nice lump of coal under the tree. This had been a year filled to the brim, the cup running over on bad YouTuber apology videos. I was a naive fool to think that we had seen the last of apology videos for 2023, and how wrong was I? In the fourth quarter here, the last week or so of 2023, we were blessed with one more from James Somerton. He was featured prominently in H-Bomber Guy's newest video on plagiarism. I'm sure all of you have seen this video by now. If you haven't, that is shocking to hear, and you should probably go check it out. And I'm not going to recap the whole video, but I will give you a brief synopsis of James Somerton's role in it. But basically, James Somerton was pretty much caught with his hand in the cookie jar, plagiarizing his entire online content fundamentally. It also goes even deeper than the plagiarism. He was accused of multiple other bad things in regards to his content plans he was making and a bunch of other variety of things. And in response to that, James went dark. He went off the grid, bought a log cabin in the middle of the woods, grew out a lumberjack's beard. He bought a Hoover from Breaking Bad. He disappeared. So he went offline, and then a couple days ago posted a surprise apology video going over all of it, which he deleted a couple hours later when it didn't get the response he was expecting to. But it's been re-uploaded, and I kind of wanted to cover it a little bit just because it feels right. 2023 has so many of these. We've got to usher in 2024 the right way with an apology video to kick us off getting into the new year. So let's take a Um, and I'm not sure I've been um, so locally, call me John Madden because I'm gonna walk you through the play in this playbook here. It's called emotional manipulation. It's a timeless classic. There is no reason you should be starting this video with this story here. He uses this technique multiple times throughout the video and doesn't really even address the accusations head on. It's mainly a lot of deflection. But what I want to focus on is just how hard he leans on trying to garner sympathy through this. Now, it's always sad to see someone struggling and going through a hard time and contemplating extremely terrible things with their life, but it's not something that you need to be sharing online in this capacity. It's also not something most people would be comfortable sharing online, especially in response to things like this, because it comes across as very insincere and disingenuous and kind of like using it as though it makes you immune to criticism because now you've done this, if that makes sense. And that's pretty much what his whole audience said too. Even the ones that are trying to rally behind him, hoping for a real explanation, this left a very bad taste in their mouth because it's completely unrelated to what should be being talked about, which is his plagiarism as well as the other things he's been accused of. He doesn't need to be sharing this information with us. This is a very private matter that he should have kept private. Figured out something with them. Cool. Once again, there is no reason to be telling this extremely personal story to your audience when this is supposed to be a video addressing all the accusations against your content. It's just the only reason this is here is so that way people can sympathize with him, feel sorry for what he's been going through, and make no mistake, from what he describes here is an extremely horrible experience that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. But it has no place in this video. It just comes across as super fucking tone deaf here. Just talk about, if you want to make an apology video or explain your side of things, then do that. And don't go into the private side of what's been happening behind the scenes since the accusations came out. Yeah. Hey, I'm not trying to make this a sob story. That's trying to explain why it is so far. You spent the entire first minute and a half making it a sob story, though. That's not an accident, and you could have edited that out. It's here because you wanted it to be here to start with immediately trying to get the waterworks going with people crying over how awful this experience is before you get into what's supposed to be your side and your apology over everything. It's just textbook emotional manipulation trying to make everyone feel bad for you, even though you were the guilty party who got caught, and this is you trying to talk about that, and you still haven't yet, even though we're already kind of deep into the video. Now it's a 34-minute video, so a minute and a half isn't like the bulk of it. But he sprinkles this throughout the entire thing, so you can't really make a good argument that it's only here to try and explain why he took so long to make this video. A, you don't need to explain why you took so long. You really don't. If you really wanted to give an explanation, you could just make it super concise, like, hey, I have stuff going on. Or this has been an extremely stressful period of time in my life and all of this, so I've taken some time to process everything, and now I feel comfortable going forward. Like, you didn't need to dive into it like this, and you didn't even need to explain why it took you that long in the first place. And on top of that, he does also still go over these really sad things in his life throughout the whole thing that aren't just there to explain why it took him so long to talk about all of this. So it really does feel like he's trying to emotionally manipulate people with his apology video. But even when he is done going through the story and actually trying to talk about what's been going on, he takes really no responsibility. He does say, I'm sorry a lot, but it feels kind of hollow when he starts throwing somebody else us for things and then kind of belittling the whole situation itself, boiling it down to something far simpler than it is. Like there were a lot of accusations against him, none of which he really defends himself on in any meaningful way whatsoever. It really feels like the main purpose of the video is to make the audience feel bad. Like make them like blame them basically for what he's going through, as opposed to taking that responsibility for fucking up with plagiarizing his whole career. Really, really sorry. Really, really sorry. The stuff in the video is pressuring people on it. Well, that's pretty ridiculous. They're gonna have to set up preferences. I don't think I really need to show you more of the video itself. You get the idea of exactly how this goes for the rest of the 30 minutes of it. It's just a really baffling decision to post this in the first place. And it's something he recognized pretty quickly when he saw the responses coming in, the Yelp reviews. So here's his community post addressing it. Earlier tonight, I uploaded a video apologizing for what I've done, but it's become clear after hearing from several people that I'm not a healthy friend of mine be posting anything online. I only returned home from the hospital yesterday, so I should have never filmed it. I believe the video, but I'm sure it has been downloaded and will be shared by others online. I promise to apologize properly and in detail when I'm more mentally stable. Until then, please know that I am sorry. He understands that this wasn't a good idea, but insists that he is sorry and will return at a later date to make a better apology video. And I have to say, that doesn't seem like a good idea. Like, I don't understand why he's even going to bother trying. There is really nothing that's going to improve for his online career through an apology. His audience isn't going to stick around through it. They were there for his content, and his content was stolen. It was all plagiarized. Like, there's no reason for them to stay, and it's not something you can just move on for and keep pumping out bangers because no one's going to believe that it's original work or anything that he himself created. So there's nothing he can possibly gain for even making an apology. He should just do something else that's not being a YouTuber or find a completely different niche on YouTube to try and make it bigger. Like there's just nothing he can really do for the James Summerton brand here. So I don't know why he's going to try and make another apology video here. It just seems kind of silly to even bother. Like, he doesn't have anything that proves him innocent from the claims. He really was kind of, caught pants around the ankle here. It's kind of like it is clear he plagiarized a lot of things, and there's a lot of other accusations on top of that as well, and the way he conducted himself, and some of the content, like some of the things he said. And there's really not a whole lot he can do to come back from that and make this big trend that come back with like an absolute fucking banger apology. That's just not going to happen. So why just go do something else, man? Just move on. So yeah, I just wanted to cover this a little bit because it's one more bad apology in 2023. I figured might as well complete the year the only way we know how with bad YouTuber apologies. Yeehaw. That's about it. Yeah. Okay, let's see the Liver King response. This is again a follow-up to the big expose from More Plays More Dates that revealed in an email that Liver King isn't happy. He's communicating with the coach to get advice on his stack, like HGH and everything in cycling. And it's big, which is a big deal because Liver King has always defended that he's 100% natural. All you need to do to look like him is follow the 9 ancestral tenets. He has a ton of companies, claims to make $100 million a year, but it's all based on being able to look like him through natural stuff, which isn't the case. So this is him coming out about it. If I had to spitball a guess, I would imagine Liver King takes this directly. I don't think he's going to try and claim it's all deep fake. He's not going to claim it's reptilians behind the scenes, the puppet master that faked the emails. He strikes me as someone who's going to try and take it head on and just hope that the majority of his audience doesn't care. That's my guess. To become coherently there in the same. I stated that this is a complicated response topic, at least to me, because before social media, was rich and anonymous. And after social media, I'm still rich. And you have to expect that was very frank. That's what I mentioned briefly in the video. Way before he was the Liver King, he was still super rich. Like he was still very rich. Yearly. Here now, something else. Yes. Those classic YouTubers say, yes. And on steroids, on learning bands, I trained for clinician. Never came a public figure with an experiment to spread a message, to bring awareness to the 4,000 people a day who kill themselves, that 80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves, are the people are trying to represent with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life. This is all very sweet and everything, but you deliver a message and then sell products based around the message, of which you just admitted a large portion of it, your physique is a lie. Now, if you were just like a motivational speaker, or just like a normal YouTuber or Instagram guy who delivers positive messages, that's one thing. You being on steroids and everything, that's not that big of a deal. But the fact that you constantly defended being natty and sell all these programs based around it, and then aren't actually the result of those things you talk about is pretty misleading, which he does admit, but spinning it as like this positive thing where I'm only here to try and help all these people who are struggling isn't super genuine when you're making so much money off them. Like you could still just be delivering that message for free. They don't need to like pay for it. If your main goal is to just deliver a positive message. I appreciate like the very upfront honesty, like, yep, I am on steroids. He didn't try and tiptoe around it. He just came in there and spread the cheeks wide open and letting us see the filthy truth on it. That's admirable. But this immediate spin about how it's all for the people that are struggling and wanting to kill themselves, that I don't put much stock into when you're making so much money off of these programs. Like that's clearly not the main goal when you're very much taking as much money for it as you can. Hey, Charles here with a little post-game aftermath reflection. After watching the video, I get the impression this is more of an I'm sorry I got caught situation as opposed to an I'm sorry I did it. I'm still not 100% sure, but after watching it, that's more the vibe I got. I wanted to put this towards the beginning of the video just to get this out there before continuing with the apology video. And I want to also let it be known that this isn't some shocking revelation. No one heard that Liver King was on the juice and was like frantically Googling for the evidence because they couldn't believe it. Like pretty much anyone with eyes and anyone that knows anything about fitness realized that his body wasn't naturally achievable. Like Jesus Christ, just look at his abs. They look like Lego blocks. That shit looks like it's made out of titanium. If you hit it with a sledgehammer, it might just break the sledgehammer. Most people can tell that he had more juice in his body than a Snapple factory. It wasn't a naturally achievable body type, but he always defended tooth and nail that he was natty 100%. He never touched HGH, steroids, anything of that caliber. But it's just a blatant lie. And when his whole product is being sold based on this physique that he's lying about, it seems exceptionally scummy to me. Just lying to his audience and getting them to buy into things under a false notion. And when asked if I've ever taken steroids, I always said no, don't touch the stuff. Not going to touch the stuff, never touch the stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've convinced myself that this had nothing to do with such a message. I convinced myself that I'm not a competitive athlete of any kind. So what the fuck am I cheating? Because you're cheating your audience. I'm still early, so maybe he comes to that realization since he prefaced it by saying I convinced myself, past tense. So like, yeah, you're not competing. You're not going to jail for taking steroids, but you're cheating the people that believed in you and believed in the message about looking like you, or at least something comparable. You were cheating then. So I continually dismissed it, and I dug myself into a bigger and deeper hole. True, I have only myself to blame. I did that. That is true. All along. I will be better, strong, hopefully, because I believe that there's a time and a place for pharmacological intervention monitored and managed by a trained formal physician. Nope. We'll never say like that. His message. Genesis of Liver King, from the primordial ooze of liver and a king. If he had come out and been like, look at this physique, this is not a naturally achievable physique, I am on steroids, and then started preaching his message, I don't think he would have ever had a problem. He probably still would have found a very similar level. The spiritual pressure of the Liver King was too much for my internet to handle. It took out the entire power grid, so stream cut out there for a moment, so I'll finish my statement here. What I was saying is he would have still found a high level of success if he was just upfront and honest about his PED usage, because he still has an absurd physique. He has a body that looks like 3 years of war characters did a fusion dance. So people would have still linked to his content for like workout advice and like general life advice. And he has preached some positive stuff as well as some genuinely wacky stuff that people eat up. They love it. So he would have still got an audience while being open about using the HGH steroids and stuff like that. And he wouldn't have had to lie to them and mislead them about what the human body is capable of achieving naturally. But if you're going to say, I'm natural when you're not, and then sell programs under the belief that they too can look like you, that's when you just screams like scam. Like knowingly misleading them. And I feel like Liver King's just living in the past where everyone was demonized for using PEDs. I feel like in the modern landscape of the fitness industry, like fitness influencers, most of them are super open with PED usage. I think most people know the majority of fitness influencers are on some level of juice, and they're okay with that. Why do I do that? Well, it's not a matter of question. 85% of the population that suffers from substance abuse. All part of that statistic. This is why I fucking work myself to death. This is why I do 12 to 15 blood every workout a week. Just to feel like I'm okay. So I don't talk about this topic. I knew I needed to take this opportunity. I just don't think it's complicated. He's probably being very honest about self-esteem issues. It's very common when it comes to bodybuilding. But it's also not hard to understand why you would take them in his position. He needs to stand out in the fitness industry. Well, how do you stand out in the fitness industry? You need to carve out a niche. Well, with so many fitness influencers out there, it's a saturated market. What niche? How about something primal? Something like very old school. Paleo diet was huge, so why not something even harder in that realm? And I'm going to really need to look super special to stand out. So you turn to enhancements like HGH and everything. It's a pretty easily understandable reason to take it. Of course, self-esteem probably does play into it because body dysmorphia is so common with fitness. But I think probably the main driver, especially with the emails, makes it sound like it was a manufactured idea from the get-go. I need to get super jacked. I need to be super standoutish. So I need these pretty impressive stack to do that for my business. Seems more like a business decision. But of course, I do imagine he's being honest that there is a self-esteem element to that. But it absolutely, undeniably, was the main reason his brand was so popular. I'm like, sorry, negativity. All I can do is take a solution right now to be better and lead myself to better life, better to again. Thank you to everyone for the support and criticism of our day and of all of us. I do think he's minimizing the magnitude of misleading people when you run a business like this, because you're selling them a false idea and you continue to lie about it. I think that's a much bigger issue that he's letting run, or maybe he doesn't realize how scummy that is. But overall, it seems like he accepted responsibility for all of his lying, which is a good start. He didn't try and put back the lane elsewhere. He didn't really try and deflect it. He downplayed that quite a bit, but it wasn't a horrible apology by any means. Do you think he's going to keep using it, or will he quit? And what's your guess on how much muscle he'll lose? He's not going to stop using it. I still think, even though his audience, judging by comments, is very much on his side, if he didn't look like this, they would probably stop watching. And he knows that, so he's not going to stop. I think he's just going to be more open about it. I think that's the only path forward for him, but I don't see a world where he stops using. Well, I never thought this day would come. A YouTuber just made the apology video worse than Sienna May's iconic interpretive dance. For those that don't don't remember, Sienna May was a TikToker accused of sexual assault, and for some reason she marched into the mines of Mordor and hatched the most diabolical plan of all time, forged the worst video apology ever, where it was an interpretive dance apology. So she starts fucking boogieing out there, doing some of this, a little bit of these. My God, I'm ashamed to say it, but she even did some of this. Just kind of downplaying the entire situation. Keep in mind, it was sexual assault accusations that also had a video as well. So there was a ton of evidence, and she still just tried to do like an apology and interpretive dance. I did not think there would ever come a time that someone makes a worse response than that. But ooh, how wrong I was. That bleeding in your ears is normal. This is a ukulele apology video. She's turned her accusations and her response into a Disney musical number here, I suppose. She got a whole little Broadway moment here to sing and talk about it. Now, before getting into it, let me give some context on what she's apologizing for. Pauline Ballinger is most known for the Miranda Sings character. If you've been on YouTube for a long time, you've definitely heard that name before. She was a massive superstar on the platform. She even had her own Netflix show. And recently, another YouTuber named Adam McIntyre has really started to spearhead this information about her past and everything that's happened to them, as well as the group chat that she used to have with a lot of her fans that were minors. And the way she conducted herself, she's been accused of like asking for ass pics from her fans. And again, most of these fans are minors at the time. She'd even send really weird videos to them. It's just, there's been a ton of evidence of very unacceptable shit. So she's been accused of like grooming as well as being a predator. And this video that she made is her response to those very serious allegations.
Oh Lord, toxic thoughts change. Driving down the tracks of disinformation. Toxic thoughts change. God, one great big manipulation station.
Nah, she's giving us a one-way ticket to defecation station because this is some shit here. I don't know how she thought this was a good idea at all. She doesn't even disprove any of the allegations. She just called it the toxic gossip train, like it's some kind of little musical number out of Magic School Bus or something that she's not taking seriously. In the face of very serious claims, she decides to put on the entire clown outfit and grab her trusty ukulele and go to battle. But it's not really a battle because she doesn't even really tackle any of the claims. She doesn't refute anything or defend herself. She just makes a song. I'm sorry I keep pausing this so frequently. I just have so much to say. And trust me, I'm really doing you a favor with all these breaks here to give you a brief like respite from the fucking unbelievable cringe. Like this is some pure, undiluted, unhinged delusion here. This is so strong, I feel like it needs to be added to the periodic table. Like the element of delusion that she is displaying here. Like this song is fucking haunted, honestly. This is like that track out of Crazy Cosby Dog with Velvet Dick that like sucks you into the record player. That's this song, but it sucks you into a group chat where she's like asking about your first period and asking for ass pics or something. So the reason I'm putting it here is because this is something she falls back on a lot in the song, and I don't want to just keep playing too much of the song. She seems to think that a lot of people are taking pleasure in watching all this and says like, oh, it's all untrue, but you're just doing it because it's entertaining and you're having fun. I've never fully understood that perspective because I imagine most people don't have fun learning that people they grew up watching or people they were at least aware of being a big influence turned out to be absolute fucking scumbags, groomers, predators, all these horrible things. Like no one has fun with accusations like that, I don't think. Certainly not the victims of it. The victims of Miranda Sings, Pauline Ballinger here, definitely clearly aren't having any fun here. This has been mentally damaging shit that they've carried for a long time. Now, I do think there is an argument to be made about like YouTuber apologies as entertainment. I made a whole fucking tier list on it. There is an element of fun to watching a completely disconnected from reality weirdo do something like Miranda Sings has done with this fucking singing apology. It's hard not to play and laugh at the absolute insanity of that situation. But in those cases, no one's laughing about the actual allegations. Nobody wants someone in a position of power like Miranda Sings calling Ballinger to turn out to be a groomer or a predator. Holy shit, she's done it. She's activating 100% of her brain. What an incredible loophole. Checkmate, lawyers. Her legal team must have been there like, no, she got us. How did we not think of that? We never said she couldn't sing it. Damn, she's doing it. If you have anything to refute the claims, why don't you present it instead of doing your little talent show ukulele act? She's saying that this video, in the beginning of the song, she's saying that she's only going to be talking about the facts, and then provides nothing. The facts must have been out of town during the filming of this because she does not present them at all. She doesn't provide anything to refute any of the claims. All she does is say, like, no, that's all wrong. Those aren't the facts. You guys are falling for that toxic gossip train, misinformation, super duper, third station, whatever. Like, she doesn't actually provide any evidence, any counterpoints, nothing. All she does is just say that it's a lie. That's it. And I guess you're supposed to take her at her word because she's singing it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. This is just invalidating to all of the victims. Like, she is like actually like laughing in their face with this video, I feel. It's pretty disgusting, actually. I don't understand how she thought this could possibly be perceived in any meaningful, positive way. Because again, she doesn't defend herself. She doesn't believe the claims of all of like the grooming accusations. If she thinks that all of this is overblown or incorrect, why wouldn't she come forward with her evidence to support that and say, like, no, this is where all of this is wrong, this is where it's false, this is where you've been lied to and manipulated. She doesn't do that. All she has here is this dumb little fucking song. I just can't even wrap my head around the thought process. Once again, this is just like shitting on the victims that have come forward. There are tons and tons of messages as well as videos, like just an overwhelming amount of evidence that's all pretty damning on calling Ballinger's behavior from these group chats, as well as just a lot of other things over the years. And in this song, she just reduces that to, it was just a weird loser sending cringe. It was just a goofball doing loser weird stuff. And then still has the audacity to sing about how she's taking accountability. What the fuck? That's the opposite of accountability. You're minimizing, downplaying the very real harm you caused to your underage fans through these group chats, these interactions, and all the shit that you said and said. That's not taking accountability. You are literally doing the exact opposite by saying, like, it's really not that big of a deal, just trying to be that's all. And then she goes into just say about, like, this is just directly shitting on the victim. She goes into the next part saying that the reason there's a mob mentality is because they're coming forward with all these lies to monetize her demise because they don't like her. Well, Colleen Ballinger, let's supersize the McDonald's fries here. You're fucking insane. What are you talking about? How did you even like actually put this out there? I don't know how Because again, this is like spitting in the face of all the victims that have come forward with a ton of evidence against her, saying it's not a big deal, they're wrong, they're just doing it for clout. It's so sickening.
She's gaslighting and manipulating cautious narcissistic rats. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that all of your perfect leads criticize. That's exactly
This is going to come as a surprise. It's going to be shocking. But yeah, most people aren't making mistakes like this. This isn't one of those like oops daisy mistakes that everyone makes in their life. Most normal people are going to go through their life without ever doing anything close to what you're accused of doing. Talking sexually with minors in a group chat, sending used underwear to kids. The list goes on and on. And she beats this point home about like how she's just made like a little mistake here and it doesn't make her a bad person. But this is one of the mistakes that like actually does make you a bad person. So this isn't like a little mistake. Like she makes it sound like, oh, you don't have the right to criticize me because you're not perfect. Your past isn't perfect. But most people's past isn't exactly one that's plagued by degeneracy like this. So no one's perfect, of course, but it doesn't mean that people don't have the right to criticize you for just how ridiculously awful the shit that you are accused of doing is, and also how terrible this response is. Once again, just talking a big fat movie in the face of every victim that came forward here. If these are all lies and just rumors, why don't you prove your side of it? Why don't you provide any evidence beyond just a song that says things without showing things or proving things? There's nothing presented here that refutes a single claim at all. She's just singing things. And that's it. That's not evidence. The video and song goes on for like another 4 or 5 minutes, but she just keeps saying the same thing about how it's all lies and manipulation. But she doesn't prove any of that. Why wouldn't you want to like actually clear your name? I don't know what she thought this song would do. It doesn't offer any kind of explanation for anything to clear up what she's calling lies and rumors. It's nothing. There's mountains of like actual messages and videos of her engaging in very, very bad behavior, very awful things, which has led to people labeling her things like a rumor and a predator, which she really doesn't like. But that's what all of these documents lead towards, point towards. And she does nothing to refute any of it, except make this absolutely embarrassing song out of it. It's backwards. I couldn't believe this shit today. So yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna play the rest of the video because she just keeps saying it's all lies, it's just rumors, it's ridiculous, I can't believe you guys fell for it. But doesn't provide any kind of actual counterpoints or evidence or anything, so it's fucking useless. This is, I do think, the new worst YouTuber apology video, and that's not an easy feat to accomplish. So that's why. That's really about it. Yeah. We were overdue for a little internet wackiness. You were looking a little malnourished, so allow me to feed you some vitamin D. So, if I ask you to tell me the most iconic YouTube video you can think of, I imagine a lot of you would default to some of the timeless classics like Numa Numa, Baby, Harlem Shake. But I do think there's a not small number of people that will immediately go to something a little more recent. The now infamous Colleen Ballinger ukulele apology video. Now I know what you're thinking. Charles Dagnabbit, that was 2 months ago. That's ancient history. That milk has spoiled. Why are we talking about it now? Well, it's because JoJo Siwa just came out to defend her against everything that happened and calls it a lie.
Speaking of friends, are you, and if I'm wrong, are you friends with Colleen Ballinger? So,
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
I've known Colleen for since I was
sending some extremely disturbing and inappropriate videos to children in the audience, and a lot of other very awful allegations and accusations against her and the way she acts around children. So for JoJo Siwa to come on here and immediately start by saying that she's known Colleen since she was 12, that to me is just another big red flag. Like, this is the worst possible way of starting your defense of someone if you're trying to prove they're innocent and everything was a lie. She just openly admits that when she was 12 years old, she was friends with an adult woman. When JoJo Siwa was 12, Colleen would have still been an adult. That is very weird. The creep sirens should be blaring. An adult influencer befriending children in their audience is not normal, healthy, or a good thing. Especially because Colleen, as she herself admits, had no boundaries, so would share everything with these children that she considered friends, such as sexual shit. Like, it was very, very not good. And here's JoJo just confirming that, hey, I was one of those 12-year-olds that was friends with this adult woman.
I would imagine if you're friends with her, you kind of met her when you were young.
I was 12 when I met her. She's always been nothing but kind to me, and her family nothing but kind to me. The internet can take a lot and run so far with it, so far that it's to the point where you just can't do anything about it.
What lie? Can you point it out and set the record straight? What fib has Hulkmania run wild with? Because in this statement, in this exact same sentence here, you just confirmed one of the big accusations about the adult woman, Colleen Ballinger, befriending children. And there's a bunch of videos and messages that have all come out with things she would send to these children, and it's not good. Are those the lies? Is that all fake? Just deep fakes, and all of the messages and victims aren't real? They're paid actors pretending? Like, I would love to know what it is here. Now, full disclosure, I'm not super familiar with JoJo Siwa. It's a name I've heard a lot. I know she's a huge child celebrity. So if I may pose a thought experiment here, do you think it's possible that Colleen Ballinger was extremely nice to you and her family extremely nice to you, JoJo, because you were already a celebrity? So she knew if she was creepy and weird and saying sexual things to you, that would be a big deal because you had an audience, a platform that could call to life these awful actions. So perhaps she gave you special treatment because if she did do all of the degenerate shit she was doing with the other children she befriended, there was a chance that you could cause a lot of problems for her by revealing it publicly. But I could be totally off my rocker here, lost my marbles. At the end of the day, it's just a theory, a game theory. Just something to marinate up here in the old noodle to think on. But regardless, an adult influencer befriending a child fan is weird. Full stop. Like, that is still just a weird thing to do.
And I had that happen to me, and I know him very, very, very well. And I think the work that he has done for the internet is incredible. I think her creativity is incredible. The way he sings, his character is completely.
Comedian is a word we're using very loosey-goosey here, but even still, there's not exactly anything side-splitting, gut-busting hilarious about an adult sending sexual videos and messages to kids in a group chat. That's not exactly a top 10 top nice one. That's just fucking gross. So you can't really just excuse it as all like, she's playing a character, being a comedian. It doesn't really work here. And once again, you should not know Colleen Ballinger very, very well. You were a child. You were 12 years old wouldn't be openly communicating with child fans like this. And I also want to point out that Howie Mandel, anytime I think about him in the modern age, I immediately just think back to that TikTok video he posted like a year ago, where he had a picture of this dude whose entire asshole fell out of his anus, and Howie was in the corner with a selfie saying, "Hey guys, this just happened to my buddy Eric. Do any of you know if this is COVID related? If this is something, let me know in the comments." Dude just dropped a fresh 2022 Goatsy, a brand new prolapse out of nowhere, and it had me giggling. So anytime I see him, I immediately just, in my mind's eye, picture that picture with Howie's face next to it. I don't know if that's how his show is, like if he has that kind of content on his show. I imagine not, because I don't think JoJo Siwa would agree to be on like an exclusive show like that, since she is a like child star and makes exclusively family friendly content, I believe. So I don't think that's how his show goes, but I just want to point out, like if it is, what a crazy collaboration for JoJo Siwa to go on that kind of show. That'd be like fucking Hellraiser collabing with Fortnite for a skin.
And I'm just saying this as a parent. You said you started communicating with her when you were 12.
Yes, is that,
You want
when
me
you
to
guys were in the same industry, when you guys were making videos and stuff, so we actually met.
I'm just going to summarize the story JoJo tells here. It's about how her and Pauline Ballinger met. Basically, when Dance Moms was airing, which JoJo was the star of, I suppose, they did get invited to a party. Pauline Ballinger caught wind of it, saw that they were upset that they were invited, tried to make it up to them, and they all got dinner.
Pauline was telling me that night about YouTube and how her whole family did it and how it was awesome and she loves her life. And that night is when I went home and I did my YouTube channel. I decided that that was going to be my career essentially. And
That's a wonderful, sweet, appropriate story.
yes,
I think Howie's right. This story isn't full on. They got dinner. It wasn't just Pauline and JoJo, it was others as well. And Pauline was talking about YouTube as a platform and ended up inspiring JoJo Siwa to start her own YouTube channel. That's not concerning. What is concerning is staying in constant communication with this adult that allegedly had no boundaries with the children that she would frequently communicate with. That's not normal, and that's not okay.
How is it for you now being her friend and reading some of what we read? Do you think it's all a lie? Do you think it's like, have you talked to her?
there have been a lot of people on the internet who have gotten hit with this cancellation. And a lot of them I know, some of them I don't know.
Only like 3 minutes ago, you did point blank say, lie. You did drop the hard L on that one. You did say lie. But now you're kind of backpedaling it a little bit here, so it's not as aggressive. She's now going through the cancel culture spiel, and the way she talks about it makes it sound like it's some type of infection, like a virus. We've seen this type of cancellation a million times in the lab. It's a particularly insidious one, unfortunate for Colleen Ballinger. It's just a very odd thing for JoJo to say, because it feels like she's almost blaming the people that came forward with all of this evidence about years and years of inappropriate behavior.
And I look at it and I see that this is a sensitive subject. Somebody who is affected by any sort of anything having to do with adults. And I mean, for real grooming is a very sensitive thing.
You must have really young people reaching out to you now.
Howie threw her a life raft right there. He put the water wings on her because she was drowning, trying to somehow spin some kind of explanation for why she thinks this is all a bunch of baloney. Like she's calling dirty articles on this whole thing. She said that the internet ran with a lie, and she's saying cancel culture and all of that, but she's not really expanding on that in any meaningful way. It just feels like she had this image of Chloe because they were close apparently, and she's refusing to hear from victims that came forward with their own experiences with Chloe that are very different from the one she experienced. So she's writing it all off as being some kind of attack, some unjust, malicious attack from bad actors.
She's cool, you know, and I think the problem is the internet was able to capitalize off of her cancellation, and they still are, and they still are continuing to, and it's not okay because a lot of it is based off blogs, and it's
Well, it's a scary place when you put yourself, it was one thing, I take television.
I wish she would explain what the lies are though, because if she has evidence that debunks all of this, it'd be extremely invaluable, and I'm sure Colleen would really appreciate it, because she's not doing anything for herself. That ukulele apology video offered nothing. She was too focused on delivering a Billboard topic track, a fucking Grammy award-winning toxic gossip train jingle that would distract people, I guess. Like they'd be too focused on the heater of a song that she delivers that will forget all about the accusations and behavior and all that. Like she didn't actually defend herself at any point so far. When, if she's innocent, if all these things truly are lies, like you say they are, she should want to. There is a lot of evidence. There are videos that she says. Unless that deep thing, that's a very hard thing to prove is wrong or justified in any way. So the fact that JoJo's defending her so adamantly and claiming it's all lies and it's just the internet capitalizing on the cancellation is pretty fucking wild. To try and defend the indefensible is a Herculean task. But she's going for it. Again, if all of it is made up, then eventually, hopefully, the truth comes out. I suppose, because right now it really does seem like everything Pauline has been accused of has substantial evidence behind the claims, whereas there is nothing to the contrary that proves that no, all of this isn't real and we shouldn't trust it. So, I mean, I'm of course going to keep my finger on the pulse here and wait and see if any new developments in this whole situation continues going forward. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to talk about this because I found it to be a pretty surprising segment here. That's about it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you've noticed I'm wearing the same outfit, same clothes. It's been over 24 hours since my last shower. I'm busy. But what are you going to do about it? All the stink police, the older officers out there, shower your children. Today, we're doing something we haven't done in a long time. We're looking at an apology video. This one I could not resist talking about. It is a shockingly bad apology videos, even when you consider all of the classics we've seen come out over the decade. It's a TikTok creator named Michael Duvall. To summarize a lot of the lore, just drop me some tidbits on it. Michael Duvall was a preschool teacher who produced OnlyFans content at the preschool he worked at. He didn't come directly from the profit involvement, but occasionally he would take nude photos of himself in the bathroom and even had a video of him masturbating and ejaculating on the toilet seat, which apparently had like a training seat on it, like for kids to learn how to use the bathroom. It's fucking gross.
I guess let's just start from the very beginning. In 2020 is when I made my OnlyFans. 21 about is when I met my ex-fiance and we got engaged in 2022. We also broke up in 2022. But I would say that this whole OnlyFans story starts from when we were still together.
We spent the first like 3 minutes here talking about his previous relationship and how it kind of got him back into doing OnlyFans content. He said it was a bad relationship, a lot of bad things happened, felt like he was being forced to do things on OnlyFans. Eventually the relationship ends, and then all of this stuff in preschool happens. So to me, it really feels like it's kind of not relevant to the matter at hand here, how we got back into the OnlyFans content when what's actually being discussed here with the preschool stuff was choices you made by yourself way after that horrible relationship ended.
as you know, I was working as a preschool teacher, technically pre-K, pre-kindergarten, and so I had a lot of free time at work where I would post on those apps.
Posting thousands of times per day is unhinged. Not even those rage-bait Twitter accounts that rule on that platform day and night trying to engage with farm for $15 at the end of the week get that many posts per day. That is a crazy amount, especially while at work. How would you possibly, as a pre-kindergarten teacher, think that it's appropriate to just be posting all day on these platforms and for that kind of content too? That's a fucking disgusting thought process where you go from like, all right, kids, next time, go to sleep. But I can make my 300 posts a day about starting my chocolate starfish on this Reddit page, and then I gotta check my OnlyFans to see if anyone's requested me to do a little something. Like, that is lunacy. And you mentioned that you had a ton of free time at work here. I can't imagine there was that much free time to make hundreds, if not thousands, of posts on these platforms. Like, when were you ever even doing your job of teaching pre-kindergarten?
I did go to the bathroom a few times and snap a nude. A lot of the reason why I did that was because I was getting paid by people, and now when I said that, people thought I was being paid by like, I don't know if you could say this word, PDF files, you know what I'm trying to say. People thought I was catering to them, and now with some of those Reddit groups I was in, I should not have been in. They were definitely like dad, son, training girls. I got kicked out of a lot of groups for like not even fitting the criteria, and it was definitely weird. But when you're in Sexburg, I don't know. I was just too blinded by the money that was coming in. I know that's no excuse.
Here comes the cold water. It was pedophiles that were paying you to do those things. He keeps denying that, saying that it was, just people wanting to see him do it. It has nothing to do with the location or anything like that. But here comes the truth, like a fucking boxing glove out of the wall to sock you in the jaw. That is exactly who it was, and a lot of people were no doubt paying him because it was in a preschool and shit. He took photos in the fucking preschool classroom he taught at too. They weren't bare butt cheek photos and nudes or anything, but he would take photos in his actual preschool classroom with his ass sticking out towards the camera. How are you going to say that you weren't selling these to pedophiles? They clearly knew you were in a child environment doing these sexual things.
So then fast forward to the day I took my first nude at work. I honestly don't remember it, but I do remember that I would get paid like say $45 to take a picture. They'd say go take it, and I would. Now I never did any of this while locked in. I wasn't allowed to have bathroom breaks like that unless it was an emergency, of course. So when I was in the bathroom, I was upstairs, classrooms were downstairs, I was far away from everyone in the teacher's bathroom that was locked. That's another thing people are confused about because they see that the toilets had like little training seats on it, and there was 2 toilets in the bathroom, which is kind of weird. And I think like originally a long time ago, those were kids' bathrooms and we would use them in an emergency, but for the most part, those were for the teachers.
Like a suitcase, there is a lot to unpack here in just this small section, so let's start at chapter 1 here. He claims he never went video mode while on the clock at work. He said that when he took those nudes, it was when he was off the clock. Now let's flex our neurons here for a moment, activating 100% of our brain power for a little Jimmy Neutron blast. If you were off the clock, why would you not just go home and take those photos then? Why do them at that preschool? My thought process is the reason he would take the photos there at that preschool is because he knew that that's what people wanted from him. He likes to claim that they weren't pedophiles and he wasn't catering to these fucking freaks. Yet, if he was off the clock while doing this, why wouldn't he have just gone home if the location truly didn't matter? Food for thought. And moving on to the next piece of this fucking gross puzzle, he says that the bathroom that he would take those nudes in or film the masturbating videos in was the teacher's restroom, which is far removed from the children's restroom. It's on the upper level and it was locked so that way kids couldn't access it. This was the teacher's only commode. Yet he calls attention to the fact that there is a children's training toilet seat on there as well as another toilet, like a tiny toilet for kids. And even does mention that sometimes this still was used by kids in an emergency. He blows his wad, fucking dumps a load onto the children's toilet seat in this restroom. Even if he's telling the truth about it being not during work hours, off the clock, and it is separate from the other children's bathroom, this is still an incredibly fucked up thing to do. And it's very clearly in a restroom that does have child
not excusing anything I did. There is definitely no excuse, but I do just want to say that it would have happened at that time at any job I worked at. If I was working at the movie theater, still would have happened there instead. It just so happened to be at the daycare, which makes everything so much more worse.
No excuses whatsoever, except for the excuse he's making right now. He's speaking about this like it was some kind of natural disaster, like an unavoidable calamity, like an asteroid hitting Earth. He's talking like Thanos. This was inevitable. I was going to be stroking my shit till it shot yogurt ropes on a toilet seat for OnlyFans content. It was just a matter of when and where. Could have been a movie theater. Could have been your grandpappy's outhouse. But damn it, it happened to be this daycare that I worked at. But what the fuck, man? The audacity for him to try and compare what he did at that daycare to it happening to him at a movie theater. He happened to work at a movie theater is a crazy leap. You were a preschool teacher. People were sending their kids to you under the assumption that you were going to educate them and those kids would be safe. And in that environment, you were making explicit content. You were making sexual posts. You were making pornography in the fucking bathrooms, man. That is not even the same ballpark. So if you went into a movie theater bathroom and ejaculate up the toilet seat. It's also crazy that he's trying to say that it just so happened to be at that daycare. You chose that location. You made the conscious decision to go and take those photos at the daycare. There wasn't just some random chance where you happened to spawn in at the daycare and film it right then and there, or else you would have fucking died or something. You made the choice to film it there. You could have just waited until you could get home and get it at your house in privacy, as opposed to doing it at your job at a daycare where children go. I don't know why he's trying to make it sound like, oh, it was just happened to be there. He did that on purpose.
Oh, so there's no reason or excuse I should have waited till I got home. I guess I was just too focused on the money at that time. I hadn't started my social media career, or maybe I just started it, but I was really focused on the success I was getting on OnlyFans and all the money I was earning, and I used that money to start my shopping blogs, and that's how I got started on social media full time.
Gladly mentions that he could have just went home and did it. There's no reason why he couldn't have just gone home and done it. However, I truly think that he knew what he was making and for whom he was making it for. That's what I believe. There is a reason why these fucking weirdos were requesting
all groups of people, Black people, Asian people. I was very much unhinged and kind of wild as a kid, and I don't want to use the house I lived in as an excuse. There really is no excuse.
This tiny little section that comes in like a surprise post credit scene. I don't know where this came from, out of nowhere. He just brings his shit out of left field about his racist tweets in the past. And like some things he said about animals in the past. Very
I was also doing a lot of drugs, and I know I said I didn't want to bring up any excuses, but that's just partially why I don't really remember everything. And so seeing it come to light, it's almost like me seeing it for the first time because I completely shut it out of my mind, blocked it out.
So now you're saying you were doing a lot of drugs at the time, so you don't remember a lot of these things? I'm a little confused here on the thought. Were you doing drugs while working as a kindergarten teacher? Like you were showing up to work right? And because you were doing so many drugs, it led you to think it was okay to make that content? Or are you saying you were doing so many drugs at the time that you did that content so good because the drugs blocked it out of your mind like clouded it? I am a little lost now on what this claim is about the drugs and not even remembering who it is.
To tell you the truth from my mouth because I know hearing it from rumors it can sound a lot worse than it was. I promise you no kids were ever involved. What I did in that bathroom had nothing to do about the building I was in. I know I let a lot of people down, and the people I let down the most is mothers and people with kids and people who thought they could trust me and knew who I was. I just want to say I'm truly sorry. I never meant to make anyone question the type of person I was. I never meant to hurt anyone. I never meant to make those mistakes.
It's kind of nuts to me how he says that it sounds a lot worse than it was, but it was that bad. Like even all the things that he shed some light on, only serve to confirm everything that had come out about it. Like he doesn't really, offer any kind of other explanation that makes it not as bad as people thought. It really is just as bad as people thought. But then the rest of the video though is spent with him saying that he's sorry to mothers and people that he let down with all of this. And he does keep mentioning that the building didn't matter, which again he contradicted himself earlier when he said that he advertised himself as like a teacher to these people. So I think it did matter, like they were requesting that, like I think it very much did matter. He doesn't want to be here. I really do believe that he knew that it mattered. Your policy itself is still just not very good. It is a very interesting strategy to also throw in like a racist tweet out of nowhere that he decided to mention on his own accord. And even though he said multiple times that he's not making any excuses, he does then immediately try and make excuses throughout the apology. there are two demons, a rapist and an incredible actor with a bright smile that can light up a room. And it's important that we don't overlook that second one. Let's focus on all these great experiences we have with Danny Masterson that we do. You know, Mr. Hyde was a bad guy, but Dr. Jekyll, he was great. So, like, I guess the idea here was to try and get the judge to be a little bit more lenient or something, like to try and help Danny's case by just saying nice things about the Danny they knew. So, an excerpt from Ashton Kutcher's letter says, Danny takes his job seriously. He is kind, courteous, and hardworking. He treated everyone from the Brits to the Teamsters to the actors to the caterers as equals. As a role model, Danny has consistently been an excellent one. A great role model for rapists, maybe. What the fuck is this? This is just an absolutely evil thing to say about somebody like this. What? And how delusional could you be? He took his job seriously. He even said, who worked for one of the caterers? I've never seen such a saint on the that 70 show set. So look at a caterer actually engage in small talk. Blew my mind. I've never seen anyone so sweet. He was truly a benevolent angel. Not the great role model where you just ignore all of those career stuff. Like, holy shit. What in the world? What incarnation? And Mila Kunis calls him an amazing friend, confidant, and above all, an outstanding older brother figure. His genuine concern for those around him and his commitment to leading by example make him an outstanding role model and friend. Yucky. An older brother figure, and still, she's echoing the same thing, a great role model. He just got convicted of rape, and it's not like this is a case with a lot of holes in it. There's like some kind of fishy investigation or something. Like this is a very cut and dry case. The only reason it took 3 years is because there is a lot of things also may or may not be going on with Scientology being involved. I don't like to even mention that word because that's a very scary thing to even bring up. Mentioning Scientology, but mentioning global in the real world. But perhaps there were, a few top diary exchanges that led to some shady shit going on throughout this case, at least from what I've read so far. This isn't something where you would see all of the evidence, see the verdict, and start wiggling your finger like, no justice wasn't served here. Unless, of course, you're part of Danny Masterson, who's saying that they got it wrong, they claim to do everything and all that shit. But like, as someone who is a friend of him, you should see this and be like, oh, this is fucking the whole thing. Oh, Jiminy Christmas, Jesus Christ. I was friends with an absolute monster. And then you would not go up the back. But you would start speaking to the great character of Danny Masterson. It's just incomprehensible to me. I couldn't imagine doing that. If my best friend in the world, someone I grew up with, someone I consider a brother, was just arrested and convicted of rape, I would not be singing his praises. I wouldn't be spreading the gospel about what an amazing guy he is. Right? I wouldn't write a letter to the judge, even though I was requested to do so by his family, and say something like, listen, I dislike sexual assault as much as the next guy. If that's the bad stuff, rape, don't like it. All right. Never raped me. So, all that. And also, we used to butt chuck brewskis in the bathtub together at the frat house. Like, this is a good guy. It's just something to consider maybe when you're looking over this and deciding on something. And I would not be trying to say anything positive about the person. So obviously it's made a lot of people upset to see them do that. It's craziness. So I'm going to get to the topic again now. I feel like we needed all of this in order to understand why they're apologizing, what exactly they're apologizing for. played together on the kickball squad. He was a superstar. One of the finest kickball players the East Coast had ever seen. Thanks for free. And the job would be there scratching his chin. I didn't consider that you have been very good at kickball. I think you shouldn't be so harsh. Like, I understand your sense. Like, everyone wrote these letters, and I guess they all understood that it was supposed to help gain matches and maybe give a letter something. I just don't know how you can do that. Like, in good conscience. It makes me. You should cause a convicted rapist to get a lighter sentence for their crimes.
Letters are not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the Jewish community.
They recognize the justice, and not compromise because have the victims or on the back end and
Hey guys, we were just being super evil behind closed doors, and it's a real shame you guys have to see this side of us. And we were hoping you guys would notice. This is really not for the judge's eyes only. We don't want to re-traumatize victims. We just want to make sure the person that victimized them gets the lightest sentence possible for the crime. And I like how they immediately go into one thing thinking like, our letters weren't meant to undermine the legitimacy of claims. I don't think anyone's claiming they were. Your letters are there to serve as a way of trying to help your friend get a less long, less severe sentence for some absolutely evil shit like that. Which is very bad. It's still horrible.
Our heart goes out to the continued victims, everything victims, especially folks that say these over.
And unfortunately, they didn't even do the ecology video classic cliche of saying thank you before signing it. You didn't even thank us for watching the ecology video. You have no manners at all. So yeah, you hear so much about the victims of these horrible things, and yet for some reason, a person who was actively engaging in these crimes, you decided to write really nice things about this crime. And that's really weird. It's hard to believe after all of this. It's just a fucked up situation. Getting justice is getting justice, which is the most important thing. But how the fuck do some people around you, will they even just write nice letters about them to try and actively help them? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, that's really bad. When you think of an apology video, you probably picture some stinky, goofy YouTuber petting their dog and fake crying, just trying to appear remorseful. And it's always just embarrassing, looking like some shit out of South Park or like tweaking on their nipples and saying I'm sorry. Because for one time, YouTubers have had a monopoly on shitty apology videos. Until today. Travis Scott, the famous rapper most known for his McDonald's meals, the Travis Scott burger, has proven himself to be an innovator not only in avoidable concert-related deaths, but also in shitty apology videos. He posted his own bad apology video on Instagram today, and I thought it's only fair that we look at it. Now, I'm sure you already know, but Travis Scott was addressing the tragedy that happened at his concert Astroworld the night before, where 8 people died and 300 others were injured. This was due to a lot of factors, with the main one being crowd crush. Crowd crush is when a huge crowd of people occupying a small space and everyone gets too close together and inadvertently starts pushing on each other, which suffocates people in the middle. They die from asphyxiation. Crowd crush is an agonizing and horrible death, which unfortunately 8 people suffered yesterday at his concert. I made a video going over this, and since then there's been a few people that went to my Twitch stream just to say Travis Scott did nothing wrong and bears no responsibility and called me a cuck. And I swear to God, if I have to read one of those brainless takes one more time, I'm going to go sick over it. I will say again, while Travis Scott wasn't responsible for the conditions that caused the horrible crowd management and the crowd crushing, he had ample opportunity to pause the concert or stop the show altogether. People were saying Travis Scott didn't know what was going on, so he had no reason to stop the concert. So I guess we just think Travis Scott is the dumbest man on the planet who performs with his eyes closed. I don't know. Because if you just look at the pictures taken from the stage or some of the video from the stage, you can literally just see an ambulance going across the crowd. Because there's ambulances at all times throughout the concert because people were dropping over unconscious, literally very popular clip that's now floating around where Travis Scott crowd surfed and got his shoes taken, and he stopped the concert on the spot to spit on the guy that took his shoes and tell the crowd to beat his ass. So Travis Scott has stopped concerts for his shoes, but doesn't stop it for the loss of life. So he values shoes more than people's lives, I guess, more than his fans' lives. That's the impression I get. Travis Scott bears responsibility, accepted, stop defending him, stop helping that podium. Now, with that being said, let's check out his apology video.
I just want to send out prayers to the ones I was lost last night. We're actually working right now to identify families so we can help assist them through this tough time. You know, my parents really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience.
Man, you can tell this book is serious because he put the black and white filter on it, but you can tell it's really getting to him. This whole apology video looks like he was just woken up out of a deep slumber and forced to make this by like his lawyer or something. Like, hey, get the fuck out of bed, we need to make an apology video. And he's like still sleepy, he's like, oh, fuck up thing. Hey, I'm sorry. He's like rubbing his face really hard, hoping to get one or two tears to come out, but they just won't fall. You can't get the tears flowing. It seems more like he's annoyed than sad. Like, this is how I react when my dog takes a shit on the carpet. It's like, oh, fuck, it's on the carpet. It means I'm going to need to use like nature's miracle or something to get it off. It's like a big mess. And look,
This room, I can make out, you know, liquor has gone in, so, help them get what they need,
yeah, but you did identify someone who was unconscious. You identified someone's lifeless body and told security to get out of there. And then you started singing to the body and then continued on the show. Like you immediately just went into a song. So I mean you did identify it. And I mean I guess you got them the help they needed getting the crowd surfed out of there. But you didn't stop the show even after finding that. You still continued.
I can just never imagine the situation. Even with the first team, even with the first team, everyone that decided to survive this city, Houston, HPD, fire department, everyone, help us figure this out. So if you have any information, please just contact the local authorities.
Yeah, every single person involved in Astro World here needs to be held accountable. The second people started breaking through security checkpoints and climbing fences to flood the venue, they should have taken precautions to pause the concert, delay it, or something, because they were not equipped to handle that capacity, and this is the natural result of that. It's a true fucking tragedy, and everybody, Travis Scott included, needs to be held accountable for what happened here. Now, I did read reports that there was someone who injected a security guard with a needle and caused the security guard to pass out. I don't know if there was some kind of like fucking supervillain there injecting people with something, but even if that was the case and not everything was related to crowd crush, there were still plenty of people recognizing all these unconscious bodies and should have stopped the concert. If anything, that would be more reason to stop the concert, and they still chose not to, which is an even higher level of negligence.
Everybody continue to just keep it fair. I mean, I'm honestly just devastated. I could never imagine this happening. I mean, everything I can keep you guys updated. You guys, following us well.
As is standard practice for apology videos, there isn't an apology. There's no I'm sorry. It's crazy. Every single fucking apology video ever, for some reason, lacks the most basic apology. A simple I'm sorry. Nothing. None of that present here. And I just wanted to go over it. It's not like a very informative video or anything like interesting, but it just shows how disconnected celebrities are. That all know how much I love awful YouTuber apology videos, but today I've got something truly special to show you. This is the magnum opus of saying I'm sorry. It doesn't come from a YouTuber either. This comes from a basketball player, and he completely redefined the apology video meta. He made an entire apology documentary. I'm talking about Raymond Green. Now, I don't know how many of you are some red-blooded American, Brewski, Poopin, patriotic sports fans, but I'm going to break down the situation for those of you that honestly don't know what I'm referring to. Draymond Green is a professional basketball player, plays for the Warriors, and recently he was filmed in practice punching his teammate after an argument. I can't show the video because YouTube will probably age restricted for shocking and disturbing content, which is not. So I'll just paint the picture with words here. So Draymond Green and Jordan Poole are at practice, and then some words get exchanged between the two, but I can't read their lips, and the quality looks like it's straight out of 2001 on the goddamn Motorola Razor, so the quality's fucking abysmal. Don't know what they said to each other, but they were some not nice words being exchanged. Perhaps Jordan Poole did it with a SpongeBob reference that he didn't appreciate, something like PayPal, you just go in for stupid count, and Draymond Green gets up in his face. Jordan Poole pushes him off, and in response to that, Draymond Green fucking cranks on anyone and lets a go-go gadget spin dough knuckle sandwich fly, absolutely blasting Jordan Poole. I don't think it was a full-blown knockout, but Jordan Poole did hit the ground hard. Like, he went down harder than the UPS delivery drivers calling my packages at the door. But this is where this fight started and stopped. The team separated the two of them, and the video was leaked to TNT. And this became a huge deal in the entire sports world. Afterwards, Draymond Green did issue an apology publicly, saying he was sorry for the whole situation and how embarrassed he was by it. But clearly he wasn't embarrassed enough because he decided to shamelessly make a documentary about this whole situation as well. The man made a full-blown, goddamn Michael Moore style documentary on his punch of his teammate. And it's so weird and goofy. I'm going to show that to you now, at least bits and pieces of it. But I also want to let you all know, if you're not familiar with Draymond Green, the guy has a reputation for being a bit of a douchebag. If you just type in Draymond Green hitting players in the nuts, you can watch full compilations of how many times he's kicked other basketball players in their ball sack. He's made a habit out of it. There's one player in particular, Steve Adams. I believe he's kicked him in his fucking jewels 3 times. 2 times in one game, if I remember correctly. So he's got a reputation for being a bit of a dirty player and a bit of an asshole. So this was just a nice cherry on top of that already pretty bad reputation. Yeah, they pulled out all the stops to whistle, all the bells and whistles. They got a professional voiceover here, making it sound very official, professional. And you would think most people in general would want to move on from a controversy like this, just apologize, put your head down and ignore it, so that way it'll hopefully go away faster. But for some reason, Draymond and the whole team that put this piece together really like to roll around with the drama of this, making it a spectacle. I don't know what they thought was a good idea about this, making a documentary to explain the punch. It's totally unnecessary. I think everyone understands what happened here. Draymond got upset and punched his teammate. It's very simple. It's like the simplest story ever told. Yet they're making it seem like a very complex issue with very many moving parts to it that we don't fully grasp, thus need a documentary to explain it to our little idiot brains here. It makes no sense. They're just here trying to squeeze as much milk from this controversy as possible, just grabbing it by the tip to get as much juice from the squeeze. You don't say. The reason you punch people is because they're upset and pissed off. It's fucking truly groundbreaking revelations here. My third eye is open. My mind is being expanded. Just please slow down here, Socrates. We're tackling some very profound and deep things now. You're telling me there's a correlation between being upset and punching someone? No, what? It's not that deep. I wasn't even there, and I can tell you why this happened. Because he hurt your feelings and you lashed out, you had a little temper tantrum and punched him. It's not a confusing situation that needs like a deep explanation. The only question I'd be asking is, why didn't you aim for his nutsack like you? But in the fuck are you even saying? Jesus Christ, you punched your teammate. That's it. I don't think after the punch you immediately went to a sensory deprivation tank to meditate on it and really dig deep into the weeds and figure out, why did this happen and how am I feeling about it? Like, did you go immediately and see a psychiatrist or something like that? What are you going on about here? Jesus, imagine Jordan Poole. You get guy who makes a documentary about it. You already know Jordan Poole and the rest of the team are laughing at Draymond Green for this one, and rightfully so. The man is the protagonist of premium for his like public apologies when this first started blowing up. And I actually thought it was fine. He said, "I'm sorry to Jordan, his family, his team," and then explained how he's going to try and make things right and make things better, get trust back in the locker room. And then a week later, he makes this absolutely insane documentary about it. So clearly something went awry there. The first response he had, I think, was okay. Like, you know what, I fucked up. It is what it is, and I'm sorry. And now he goes in full Hollywood here, sniffing his own parts, and makes a documentary surrounding this punch. That's where I want to hear. That's where we want to hear. Got a lot of this video is supposed to be like an explanation for why it happened, and a little documentary surrounding it, but it doesn't even do that. It doesn't do the bare minimum. He just says, like, well, why did it happen? And it's the process of understanding why it happened. But never even says why it happened. He never even explains why he did it. I mean, everyone knows why he punched him. Like, we all get it. But this whole documentary was built around the idea of, well, here's his chance to defend himself and give his side of, you know, what happened here and how regretful he is. But it doesn't even do that. But you want to know the best part of this documentary? It says nothing. It doesn't even make a point. It's just like, hey, here's Draymond Green. He punched this guy. And here's him moderately reflecting on it. And then he goes back to practice and he says it's time to get back to work. And he hopes he can lead the team better now. That's it. That's the whole documentary. But it has no purpose whatsoever. It's mind blowing if this got made. But regardless, that's pretty much where the documentary ends. It's very silly. And I just wanted to talk about it because I think it's a wild set of circumstances here. Making a documentary about your outburst touching your teammate is such a bold move. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it's impossible to say what the worst feeling in the world might be. I think most people would default to answer that with something painful, like getting hit with a sledgehammer, getting shot, childbirth, is usually towards the top of that tier list for how painful it is. Maybe watching Rebel Moon Part 2 for how honorable it is. But I actually think there's a right answer to what the worst feeling in the world is. And it's being dead. And a YouTube channel called Watcher would agree with my analysis because they experienced death for about 3 days when they released their goodbye YouTube video. And they announced that they were leaving the platform in order to have their own subscription-based third-party platform for their content going forward. And people didn't like that. They got spit on more than a bike at a food boxing competition. And now they're back. They released an apology and they've announced that they've made a mistake. They've apologized and they've talked about their plans going forward now. I'll bring you up to speed on the lore in case you're not familiar with this story, but this is a massive YouTube channel. They are a beloved group where they made this absolute red carpet announcement where it was saying that they were going to be producing all their content going forward behind a paywall on their own platform for $6 a month. So all the content that their fans were used to getting on YouTube for free is now locked behind a $6 a month subscription fee. It's that they continue to drop leaders on YouTube for the rest of the season, well, that would cost you some plans to access. Obviously, this ruffles everyone's feathers, especially considering they already have a Patreon where people are signing up for monthly membership fees of $5, $10, or $25 per month. And this is an additional service on top of that for a monthly subscription. So it was just a disaster. And they lost close to like 100,000 subs over the course of 3 days. It wasn't quite 100K, but it was a lot. And now, today, they released this.
Hey everyone, last Friday we were leaving YouTube and we missed up. All these book hours, news hours, comments, and concerns. We want to take the time now to we've been reading the things you've been saying. We're starting to believe the parents, as well as the way you're doing it.
Right up front, it succeeds where a lot of other YouTube apologies fail. They say they fucked up and they say the golden word. I'm sorry. They make an apology right off rip. So it's a pretty good start to this one, all things considered.
We understand where you're coming from.
First, we went up early today.
You will be the reason everything is doing anything. You help us every step of the way. Some people start watcher, and they keep playing, people support us in so many ways. I watch your content, live shows, merch, becoming a company that Patreon, and giving a little encouragement over the years.
This is another super strong moment here because it's tugging up the audience's heartstrings. It's very much buttering them up in a positive way. I'm not saying that as a negative thing. It's very can't really make a whole lot of money. You can't convert nice comments to USD. There's no direct conversion there for that. I mean, unless you're making Walmart cards, perhaps. But those other attending live shows, subscribe to Patreon, and also wine. And there is a fourth one there as well, which is just by